hit the timer.
Yeah. It's usually about 6 to 10 seconds. There we go. You see Snowbear and Fine only about 2 seconds apart right from the beginning. All right, so fun match here as we see a Hunter right off the get-go.
Now,
And,
I've got the spoiler log with me just so we have some answers later on. But, oh boy, I looked at the starters. It's going to be interesting.
Ooh, very good. Yeah, you save the spoiler log for yourself. I want to be surprised just like the rest of us in chat and our players themselves. But we will get a first look from the starters on Snowbear's side of the screen.
Well, I'm saving the spoiler log so that we all know what the roamers will be.
Yeah, that's always a good play. Ooh, a Nidoking on the left. A Rhydon in the middle.
The bee!
The bee! Yeah. Ah, yes. Looks like both players will be...
The bee!
The bee!
We're not going to see the bee, but
right.
I love it.
That's right. You do have some terrific emos, Paradox.
Done by the same artist who has done our layout here.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, the layout looks very, very good. Very clean. So we are very much thankful to all the artists out there. Yeah, so we are into the original stage of the game, and I feel like our players already got ripped off with a Nidoking on Route 29.
Whoops, that is a mistake on my part. Hold on.
Yeah, so we're getting into the early stage of the game. So as always with any kind of randomizer, always looking for a main right off the get-go. I don't believe either player has looked at what the moves are. Snowbear just had an encounterless 29, so he is flown all the way to Cherry Grove City. Yeah, so the early stage always going for the main and trying to find something very useful. Of course, in this format, we have what's called good early wilds turned on. So any Pokemon that is up to level 9 would be forced fully evolved. So we're not going to see any Swinub, or perhaps like Nidoran Male, they've already been forced to evolve in Piloswine and Nidoking, respectively, if that was perhaps the case. So it gives our runners a better chance to find something that's going to be usable throughout the course of the entire run, as opposed to bingos where we only need it for like 5 or 6 gyms. Fine, already getting bodied by encounters. He seems like he's stuck on 29, and Snowbear trying to generate an encounter in which he gets a Rapidash on Route 30. Yeah, so we're going to be a lot more picky in terms of what main that we can use. With a bigger emphasis on what Pokemon it is, as opposed to what moveset it may have. The moveset will certainly help in the early game. We're going to get plenty of TMs and, of course, all the useful HMs throughout the course of the game. Looks like Snowbear is actually going to go for a nickname here. MLP, shoutouts to My Little Pony.
All right, I'm back. I unfortunately forgot to turn my alerts off again, so...
Oh.
Thank you, Lucas.
You know, that's something I've struggled with in the past as well. Ooh, we have a possibility for early Squirt Bottle.
Well, I mean, early Squirt Bottle is there. It's just early Pseudo.
Yeah, oh yeah, early Pseudo. So I wonder if that might be the play. I don't think Snowbear has anything that might be terribly runnable yet, just the Nidoking and the Rapidash at this moment.
But the Rapidash has a special moveset. It's runnable because he does have a female one. Which...
it's a Swords Dance, Icy Wind, Hair Song. Swords Dance certainly is a moveset, but it had no physical moves to go along with it, so it definitely needs some help.
Alright, and into the...
Yeah, into the first trainer battle. Youngster Mikey.
Alright, what have I messed up now? I got enough. Apparently my alerts are not done being dumb.
Yeah, I remember one of my matches, I had turned my
Wait, was that mine?
Off, but I think I had to... I wonder if it's on Snowbear's end. I actually can't hear their audio.
No, that was on my end. It was delayed.
I see that the Snowbear used a Paris song on the level 4. He's having a little trouble with that rock type, but he'll be through it in a second. But not before the Kabuto KOs the Nidoking. There you go, the strats. Actually, Parasong isn't that bad of a move if you need to either get out of a jam, or if you find a Parasong TM, it's good to hang on to that in case you need it on Red, because we've definitely seen some very scary leads on Red's team. So having a move like Parasong or even an Explosion or Protect and Detect can certainly get you out of a jam in case, you know, you see like Rollout or something that's hard to deal with.
Alright, sorry again, everyone. It should be fixed now. But please, don't test that.
I'll take your word for it. By the way, Snowbear just found an Ursaring on his screen. And he needs to be very careful to not wipe to it, because he only has 2 HP left total on his entire team. But that should be a pretty safe catch. There he goes. Now remember, both players do have the Squirt Bottle, so they'll have access to the level 20 Sudowoodo, which is which is probably the safe play. Let's see the moveset on the Ursaring. Oh, stop! It had stop, so...
And it has bubble for those rock types.
Yeah, and ghosts.
Yeah. Totally not walled. It has bubble.
Yeah. But it's definitely the most usable thing he has up to this moment. But we are going to get that level 20. I assume both players will probably head that way before they even head up the tower or whatnot. I could theoretically see Snowbear sticking with, of course, the bear, one of his favorite Pokemon. But having the Squirt Bottle this early also unlocks another potential option.
The Wigglytuff with Metronome. It got a fighting move.
What? Whoa!
Shiny Rapidash! Let's go!
It's... wow!
It's Galarian!
So, I love it when other Pokemon use Metronome Transform. Because... okay, let's take this sidebar, because this is certainly a very interesting thing that always happens. I've seen it in the Metronome-only races. And it's... a couple weird things happen. One, it makes the Pokemon have its own... it has its own color set, but it takes on the shape of the other Pokemon, so it looks a little funky. It looks very much like a shiny Pokemon.
I believe it keeps its own color palette.
Yeah,
but
it keeps its own color palette. So you get like it looks shiny, but like it's like a different version of a shiny, so it's really funny. Makes for good clickbaity titles.
My favorite one I've seen was in a speedrun, Whitney's Clefairy metronoming transform into the Croconaw, and it's just bubblegum color.
I remember seeing a Green Lantern in one of Kizaron's metronome-only races. By the way, that's a Poliwrath as the pseudo.
Ooh.
Which is certainly pretty usable. Has decent potential, especially with it coming at level 20 as of right now. Yeah, so it's very much it's funny. It makes for some clickbaity, YouTube headlines and whatnot. Yeah, definitely worth trying to catch here on Phiyun screen, going immediately for the level 20 pseudo. And here's the other thing: now we'll have access to Ecruteak City.
Oof.
And one of the options that we have selected for these tournaments is called No Early Super Rod. And what that means is in the first 7 key item checks in Southern Johto, we cannot have access to the Super Rod, which would give us a level 40 Pokemon, which would certainly be a little bit too overpowered for all of the early games, because let's face it,
it has Dig.
Pokemon, yeah, it does have Dig, so it gave him another chance.
Oh, that's dead Nidoking again.
And Snowbear was doing the same strat as well. So no, we don't have access to a level 40 Pokemon because, let's face it, Whitney's strongest is only level 20. We'd be twice the level of everything in all of Southern Johto. However,
Gio, what are you doing here? You're in RM1.
However, with Ecruteak being available, since we have the early Squirt Bottle, the Super Rod can be an Ecruteak. In fact, the item finder house would be ideally where you would want to check. So that is probably what we're going to see Phiyun do. Plus, you know, if you get an encounter on your way on Route 37, you can get, I think, level 15-ish Pokemon, which isn't too bad either, especially if you're not satisfied with what the pseudo is. So we are going to get the item finder check here, which is, unfortunately, Whirlpool. Remember, kids, Whirlpool has base 15 attack power, so
Whirlpool is
not exactly the most useful thing to find up there. Yeah, and honestly, if you wanted to be very ambitious, and I think I've yet to see anybody try this out yet. And that's also...
My restream hiccuped there for a second.
Oh. I was going to say, if you are ambitious, especially with that Poliwrath, if it has a good moveset, you could theoretically take on the Kimono Girls, try to beat 5 level 17 Pokemon, and get that next item check as well.
What I've seen on the Poliwrath so far has been Vice Grip Dig.
Which isn't horrible. It's not the best. Isn't horrible. Remember, Poliwrath is a physical attack set.
I think it's split, actually.
Yeah, it's fairly even with it being a water fighting type, so it can definitely use both of its stabs quite effectively. It's a bit more on the physical side than not. And what we saw Snowbear do is he activated the Bill cutscene. That gives us access to another level 20 Pokemon, which is in Bill's house. We didn't see phiyun do that, however.
85-70, okay.
Yeah, so now we're seeing our first divergence. So phiyun is heading to Goldenrod because we have another three item checks, because I think the thing we're going to try to be looking for right now is the bicycle to give us a bit more speed. Well, there's
bicycle being guaranteed in the first 7 items.
Correct. Yeah, so the heading to Goldenrod gives you a almost 50% chance, 3 out of 7, let's say, to find that item. Well, it's really like 50% because we've already got the Mr. Pokemon item.
Well, the Poliwrath has Stab. It's not good, but it has it.
I didn't exactly see it on Snowbear's screen.
Oh, it has Dynamic Punch.
Oh, what kind of rando? It came straight from Chuck's gym, apparently.
It is not good, though.
Now, phiyun did find Fly as well as the item finder, trying to keep an eye on both screens. So Fly, not exactly useful just yet, but now at least we know it's not going to be in the basement, so...
And look at that, he was gifted a Tyrogue.
Yeah. So at least we got that going for us. So
and 10 levels it'll be runnable.
Yeah, so phiyun checking out those key items in Goldenrod. I'll be curious to see if he decides to go after Whitney's gym. Because he does have a level 20 Pokemon, he is going to be on par with Whitney's main.
And
while Snowbear taking the... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, his Poliwrath is male, so it's on the upper side of the attack DVs, whereas Snowbear's female one is going to be suffering long-term because of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily consider Poliwrath in like the A or the A- tier. Definitely in the maybe B tier side of things. It's kind of on the it's on the cusp of usable throughout the course of the run, but having it at level 20 certainly is a big advantage.
It looks like Snowbear is committing to the Poliwrath, teaching it Ice Punch.
Yeah, I teach it Ice Punch. That's a pretty smart play as well. And phiyun picks up Surf.
A bit more usable.
Yeah, so no bicycle for phiyun in Goldenrod.
That means that there are 3 items left that the bike could be. It could be Flash, the Old Rod, or Cut.
And we'll be seeing all those in due time. But having Surf is actually pretty good. I'd be surprised if phiyun doesn't go after Whitney here, but doesn't look like he's headed in that direction. Because if you just teach Surf to that Poliwrath, then you have Stab Surf.
He also appears to have not talked with Bill in Ecruteak, so he's not going to check what Bill's poke is, which is another level 20 you could potentially get.
Yep, that's correct. And actually, it was kind of funny. We saw Snowbear do the Bill cutscene in Ecruteak, but he didn't go to Goldenrod. And Fine, while in Ekritik, did not activate that cutscene and went to Goldenrod. So I don't know if we'll be seeing Bill's Poke at all over the course of this run, even though it was certainly a potential option.
Wait, is Fine just pulled a Death Warp from Goldenrod to Violet? That is an interesting Death Warp.
I've never seen that played before. That's actually quite smart. Looks like he's going to go after TM50 here. Yup.
That is a very interesting play. I did not see what TM50 was, but I can take a quick look. It is soft-boiled.
Okay. Yeah, very interesting play. I think that's actually pretty smart, because he did go back into the radio tower to deposit his Pokemon instead of going into Goldenrod's Pokemon Center to be able to keep that Death Warp available. Yeah, definitely love that strategy. I've never seen that before, but props to Fine. That's actually quite smart.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, got caught by the NPC there. Yep, he's going to be heading up to Sprout Tower. Meanwhile, Snowbear is just starting the Stage V fight.
Alright, taking a quick look at Poliwrath, it does learn 2 more level up moves. One at 35 and one at 51.
That's quite a ways away.
It is, so they're going to have to rely on TMs for a large part of this, besides getting early surf.
Yeah, if they get access to the Fog Badge early, they'll be able to actually surf in some of the waters, which could give them options for another level 20 in most ways. And then I think Vermilion City has some very high-level pokes. But that's only if they get Fog Badge, so. And we got the red scale on Snowbear's screen. And he's just going to dig right on out of there.
That leaves 2 spots left that could be the bicycle.
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, in the early game, having an overlevel main is a nice little advantage. But Paradox, when do you think, like in your estimates, when do you think that Poliwrath might start to struggle over the course of this run? Like, are we talking maybe Ekritik City, like by the time it gets to the gym, a little bit later on, maybe a forced early Kanto? What do you think there?
With what they've got available to them right now, I'm assuming that they're going to go through Azalea Town and then through Goldenrod. They might have some issue with Rival 3.
Yeah, and that's to me is always like kind of a first big hurdle in the game. I know.
And also, Morty could be an issue because of Poliwrath's overall low stats.
Yeah, it doesn't have the greatest attack stats in the world. I see Eagle Wing was our stat man in chat right now saying 85 physical attack, 70 special attack.
Its defenses are better than its attacks.
Right.
But even then, it's 95-90. It's not the best.
Yeah, and over the course of this run, using a Pokemon like Poliwrath that has a lower end physical attack stats starts to suffer a lot more when you get to Kanto. Because that leap is actually quite severe, quite steep to go from the Kanto gyms, and then if you need even one gym or go from the Johto gyms to one gym in Kanto to try to, unlock radio tower sequence or whatnot throughout the course of the run, yeah, that steep level increase.
Oof, Snowbear hitting the spinner.
Yeah, I almost thought for a second that was a new bicycle movement strategy, but looks like you still have to pause.
Yeah.
But he should be able to clean that up.
They are going to be more or less forced to invest in a lot of X items.
Yeah, or there are other strategies to still potentially main switch. So this could be a situation where if you get good TMs, Do you just teach all the TMs of this Polyrath, just go full in commit, or do you hold on to some of those better TMs, thinking maybe the Snorlax is something, maybe I'll get the Super Rod eventually. There's certainly a
roamers
lot of
are
plays.
always an option.
Yeah, roamers are an option. Sometimes they're a little monka-esque, but definitely an option.
Well, with
Me
phiyun
personally-
having Surf, he won't need to risk teaching Ice Punch, and now Tri Attack on Snowbear. He is going through his TMs that he may not have if this Polyrath starts to suffer.
Right. I'm actually not. Ooh, hits a second.
Oof.
Second
There's
optional
Anthony.
there. Yeah, good old Anthony. We know that he's a run killer in Vanilla Crystal runs. But here, okay, so I actually don't mind teaching Tri-Attack in this situation, because Tri-Attack being a normal type move, you'll eventually have access to Strength later on in the game. So you're probably not going to be hurting for, oh, I wish I didn't teach that normal type move in case you main switch.
That is true.
But if it was say like Mega Horn, you know, a good physical TM that would be tempting to teach to a Polyrath, maybe you hold on to that in case you find a better physical main later on. I
Or
personally
the Ice
would be a
Punch
bit-
TM from Faulkner, which could be useful on other mains.
Right. The Ice Punch TM is something that I would have definitely held on to and said, I'm going to wait for a better main. Maybe I find something special on Cycling Road, you know, another potential location to main switch. Yeah, so I personally would have played more conservatively with the TM usage. I would have probably just, you know, bitten the bullets a little bit more on the Polyrath, say, you know, it's over leveled, it's not going to encounter too many problems until maybe Goldenrod or Ekritik. But if I have the option to main switch to something certainly better than a Polyrath, that might be the play. So we'll see how phiyun plays this, because it does look like Snowbear is fairly committed to sticking with the Polyrath, with it knowing Ice Punch and now Tri-Attack, and not Surf yet. He hasn't gone to Goldenrod, but he'll be getting Surf quite soon.
Yes, whereas it looks like phiyun has opted not to teach Ice Punch. So he may be expecting a later main switch. Also, they could have done bug catching to see what was in there.
They could have too, yeah. Did either of them set their game to Saturday? I think
I
Snowbear's on
don't
Sunday.
believe they did. I think they both did 10 a.m. Sunday.
Yeah, just the mash through the text boxes right at the beginning.
Oh wow, that's too bad. I'm looking at the. I'm looking at what's available there that we're not going to see.
Enlighten me, because we aren't gonna see.
Frieza,
Oh, well.
as a potential level 18, Frieza is in there.
Ooh. Well, we all know that Frieza's banned anyways. Totally joking about that, but I mean, it does feel like anytime somebody gets a Mewtwo, it was like, well, good game.
Wow, slash flame wheel
match.
Frieza. Okay, no wait. Yeah, slash flame wheel Frieza.
Well, I mean, it's also Frieza, so.
Yeah, so I mean, it would have been immediately runnable.
Yeah, even at level 10, you could have, or yeah, even at level 10 or some of the lower levels, you could have taken Fine Strat to Death Warp back to Violet, and then just progress through the game normally through Southern Johto and be able to get that nice experience curve instead of having to hustle your way backwards, which I do enjoy sometimes. If I get that option, if I think I'm confident to beat Whitney on my first trip through Goldenrod going backwards, I'll give it a stab.
But I would not have trusted that off of a Polyrath. Especially a Polyrath with 0 stat experience.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, actually, so this is shaping up to be a really close race. So where we stand right now is Snowbear's got a slight lead progression-wise, since he's already through Slowpoke well. Meanwhile, Fine is trailing just a couple fights behind. Snowbear is also committed to teaching the TMs to the Poliwrath, so the Poliwrath does have a better moveset at the moment, and should be able to pull away just a little bit more. But phiyun, being more conservative, might be thinking, I might catch up in the later game with a better main and then have an even better moveset to be able to take better use of the TMs that he does have. So, yeah, interesting race setting up right now.
Also, that gender difference between the two is going to make a difference as we go along. As Snowbear will start getting ranges that he cannot make, that phiyun may be able to.
Yeah, it's always that, man, I would have hit that if I were male. Go ahead and explain to everybody, just to refresh everybody's memory.
Okay, so
what the male and female does.
Because of how gender was introduced in Gen 2 after Gen 1 to make Pokemon tradable back and forth, the game takes the physical attack DV of your Pokemon, a number between 0 and 15, and incorporates that into the gender ratio to determine a Pokemon's gender. So females will have the lower end of DVs in attack, whereas males will have the higher. Poliwrath being a 50-50 means that Snowbear's Poliwrath has 0 to 7 attack DVs, where phiyun has 8 to 15.
Which could be a significant difference, or it could be the difference of, just 1 or 2. I remember a race between me and Geospawn where we did the same thing. We used the early squirt bottle into the pseudo, which ended up being a Kingler. And my Kingler was female and his was male. And when we checked afterwards, the DVs were 7 and 8.
So that would be a minimal difference, but it could still cause a range.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Be missed. And with Tri-Attack and Dig on this Poliwrath, that could make a large difference.
Right. And of course, you want to use Poliwrath as a physical attacker. So that's another big strategy throughout the course of this run, is that you might have, mixed attackers or something with balanced attack stats. Like, say, just throwing an example out there, like Mew, that has 100 stats all across the board. And you might think, hey, I could use this as both a physical and special attacker, and you might set up your moveset as 2 special attacks, 2 physical attacks, and you can get some great coverage off of that. But over the later games, we're going to start using X items. And say if you're using your Mew as a special attacker and you buy X specials, it's going to be easier to set up X specials if you have a moveset that's at least 3 special moves instead of 2 and 2. You're going to make better use of your moveset if you start specializing your moveset one way or another. That's why when we usually see Kingdras being used, which have 95 both in attack and special attack, they will almost always be used as special attackers because you have access to Surf, of course. So you try to specialize your Pokemon one way or another to take advantage of either its best attacking stat or just choose one, so that way your setups are a little bit easier in the tougher game.
There's also the fact that Kingdra, being Water Dragon, has 2 special stabs.
Right. And I have run a Surf Outrage Kingdra before.
There's a large difference between their attacks.
Did you just take a look at how big the difference was?
It's going to be almost a 10-point stat difference at level 26. Ooh. Snowbear, upon reaching 26, I think hit 50 physical attack. I was trying to keep an eye on it. phiyun at 25 has 57.
Wow, okay, so that is going to be a pretty big difference.
Yes, this is definitely...
Oh, by the way, Snowbear did just pick up the Bill's poke, and it was a
Let's go, Machoke! Snowbear, please look at that Machoke. I'm begging you. I looked at it already because I thought we wouldn't see it. I know he won't. It's so much better, though, and it only has 1 move. he could give it headbutt and it will be ghost walled, but it will still be an absolute monster. It has jump kick.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, that is huge. Stab jump kick on Machoke.
Yeah, jump kick's probably my favorite fighting type move to use in the game, because fighting type moves are a little awkward in Gen 2 because most of them don't have very good accuracy, a la jump kick, high jump kick.
Jump kick's got 95 though. It's so good.
Right. So that's why I argue that jump kick is probably your best move in the game. I can usually handle high jump kick until I missed a Blissey twice.
Look at that Snowbear, please!
Oh!
No!
Oh! Committing to the Poliwrath.
Just for clarification on this,
Yes,
Machoke will become Machamp at level 37 because of the way Rando is set up, and its physical attack is so much higher than Poliwrath's.
Yeah.
Its stats in general, besides special, are amazing. 100 base attack.
I'm gonna look up my my tier list to see, because that is definitely a strict upgrade.
Snowbear's on his way to Surf. He hasn't got... Yeah, I know, it has no speed, but it hits like a truck. There we go. There is a range on Snowbear's side. That Suicune surviving will not survive... Well, would not have survived for phiyun.
That's...
Machoke! Choke Daddy's back! No!
No!
Oh, man.
I mean...
They both got to see it.
Listen, I can't blame phiyun, because you're thinking, oh, it's a Machoke, not a Machamp. But at the same time, Snowbear has no excuse, because he has it in his party.
It was in his party. His lead is female. Zam!
Whoa, 2 spoons.
Big Zam!
Actually, it has Psybeam.
Oh my god, immediate main swap. Psybeam Surf Zam!
And he's got the Ice Punch TM to go with it.
That is a monster right there.
Oh.
Walled by Slow King, Slowbro, and Starmie.
That's
and nothing else. It has one move, about to be 3 moves.
It has Sword Stance just in case you forgot that that 2 spoons is canon physical.
Yo, a Cloyster! What is this water?
Wow.
It is unfortunately female. The Cloyster is very much a physical attacker.
Yeah, and it also is just defense. It doesn't have Iron Tail. I mean, if I were phiyun, I would have seen the Psybeam Alakazam and be like, done.
Oh god, I'm looking at the Cloyster right now. Its moveset's interesting because it has Flamethrower.
Ooh.
But that's all it has.
Yeah, Iron Tail, Flamethrower. I mean,
I would go with that Zam.
He thought about it. He went into the.
Oh, he doesn't want it. Its next level up move is Boom. And boom! It gets double boom!
Wait, it gets double boom?
Explosion at 33! Oh no, self-destruct at 33, explosion at, what, 50-something?
Oh my god.
At 41. It's stupid, but I love it. But that Zam is obviously the answer here. It will outpace that Poly by miles. Immediately having Surf and Ice Punch, which Ice Punch is special in this gen.
Yep, there it is. And there's the Ice Punch TM. Oh, yep. phiyun definitely making the good place here. I mean, so Sword Stance Ancient Power, Justin, that would have been a really good troll if he would have saw Sword Stance on the Alakazam in the wild.
And then just
wouldn't
ran.
you roll your eyes and be like, of course, yeah.
But here's the thing. Comparing to that 85-70 special attack split on the Poly, Zam is 50, 135.
Yeah, its attack stat is monstrous. So it's almost funny because Machoke has what, 100 base physical
100 base
attack?
physical attack. But this Zam just outclasses it.
Oh, by a lot, especially with Stab Sidebeam. You really can't ask for too much more, because if you are, then you're just getting greedy.
Meanwhile, we have Snowbear getting his
Mineral Badge.
Ooh, none of these badges are helpful, except the Cascade giving them a boost to Surf.
So it is really funny how Phiyun caught up, like, almost immediately, because he did do all the key item checks on his first trip into Goldenrod, and then did the warp back, but he's only one fight behind now, and
he has unquestionably the better main.
Yeah, unquestionably better main. I would say Alakazam is in the A tier, maybe A- just because of how frail it can be.
Only physically frail. It has 85 base special defense.
Okay, but that still leans itself to the problem, so to speak, because Shadow Ball and Mega Horn are going to hurt. Just like how if you're a Kingler, you don't want to get hit with Thunderbolt.
Yeah,
that's just gonna fry you.
The only problem is, when it gets to the later game, Snowbear will have an easier time doing setup with his bulk.
This is true.
Zam is amazing early game, but starts to suffer late game because of that.
I want to say that, like, oh, you can just use X defense and help out that weakness, but I mean the joke is like, well, 2 times 0 is still 0 defense.
Yeah, 45 base defense.
Yeah.
Mega Horn and Shadow Ball tear it to pieces.
So remember that thought when it comes to red. Otherwise, we might be seeing the legendary 6x defense setup.
Oh, Phiyun immediately looking for something to drop for that amulet coin. Amulet coin being one of the best items to have.
Yeah, I love having the amulet coin in the early game, because once you get enough savings built up, you just do all your X item shopping in one swoop, and then you can switch to an item like Leftovers, which...
There's the guaranteed Leftovers in Celadon.
Yeah, shoutouts to Wingage for really showcasing that strat to all of us in one of the weeklies. And we all kind of went, wow, he found Leftovers, like, in a random building in Celadon. How do you do that? And he's like, yeah, that one's that's a static item, which is kind of unusual. A lot of us never thought to think that that any of the items in the game weren't randomized, and I guess that trash can acts like an NPC.
Yep, that is exactly what happens. The trash can is, oddly enough, an NPC.
Trash can NPC. So we have a slight divergence in routes yet again.
Ooh. Oh my god, that Hyper Beam!
Did he? I don't think Phiyun saved into this fight either.
I don't think he did. He's... Oh, the double miss on Dynamic Punch, but he gets one hit.
Lives on the Magic Pixel.
He doesn't have revives, though.
He doesn't have a revive, so he might have to commit to trying to finish off the fight with the Poliwrath, which thankfully is level 25.
Oh, but I don't know why I was worried about that. It's a Hoot Hoot. Aeroblast Hoot Hoot is still a Hoot Hoot.
It is still a Hoot Hoot. Snowbear is going to save for this fight. Snowbear did you happen to check what key item that Snowbear picked up in the Kimono Girls?
Oh, the Kimono Girls. Give me a second and I will just look at the log to see what that was.
I'll raise my hand to chat. I'm on the tracker today.
That was Waterfall.
Waterfall, okay. Yeah, I'm on tracker today, so if some of the items don't pop up, you guys can all blame me on that one. Phiyun probably being like, oh, thank you, RNG Jesus. that he was able to defeat rival with the Poliwrath instead of the Alakazam.
Alright, we're about to get to the roamers on Phiyun's side. We're not going to hear him on Phiyun's side. We will hear him on Snowbear's side in a minute. But just that we know what we've got, I am pulling them up.
Alright, chat. Get your ear holes ready for some roamer cries. Yeah, we are using the Snowbear side of the audio. Alright, give it a listen, everybody.
Alright, everyone, what are your guesses?
I think Eagle Wings got it. Was Raikou a Raikou?
Oh, it sure was.
Oh my goodness. I thought that was a little bit weird.
Yeah, Phiyun obviously heard one of them, but Eagle Wing, you are correct. Those are all three of them.
Wow, way to go. Oh, wow, Fine got
Whoa,
the
whoa!
Incredible.
Did you see that move?
I actually missed it.
High jump Tauros.
Whoa! Fine is swimming in mains today.
E-speed high jump Tauros.
And he taught wow. And he taught
Meditate. Oh my god.
Okay, he's got free X attacks. Very good.
He is so ghost walled.
Well, that's what the Alakazam is for.
Oh my god, if he gets a ground or rock move on that, it will ruin everything.
Imagine if he finds Shadow Ball TM.
That would be just as good.
I'm just saying, imagine. Imagine all the rollers.
I never even thought to look at the Tauros when I saw. I'm just like, oh, that's neat. Nobody's gonna do roamer strats. Thank you, Fine, for proving me wrong.
Yeah, and he just gets it, you know, right off the bat, too.
Alright, oh my god, it's learn set at earlier levels. It had cross chop.
I'm actually surprised Snowbear didn't go after it, like, not realizing that the Poliwrath might be falling off at this stage. There's usually a stage where you're just like, oh my goodness, why can't I one-shot anything? And that's the moment where you're like, I need a main switch.
We're about to watch this Tauros just ruin everyone's career.
As long as it doesn't miss a Blissey.
Oh, that would be wildly unfortunate.
Yeah, I got a clip in my channel somewhere. I had a high jump kick Porygon 2, and I missed on a Blissey, and I did more than half damage to myself. And I'm like, ah, geez, whatever. And I just mashed through the clicking. I missed again, and I ended up killing myself. And I was like, you kidding me? But you know what? That's what X accuracies are for in the late game as well. So Snowbear is just about to start the Morty fight, who leads Omastar.
Oh, the Omastar! Oh, it's gone.
But he didn't one-shot it. Oh, he should be able to one-shot that.
Now, the thing is, and I looked it up, there is a TM coming up that, if checked, will give a ground move and round that Tauros out amazingly. It's only Bone Club, but that's still a Tauros.
Yeah, that would still help with coverage right now.
But it's a little out of the way.
We've got Thunder Badge for Snowbear's side. I mean, how... So, let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3...
And a Hypnosis TM.
So Fine is still technically 4 fights behind. How quickly does it take for this level 40 awesome moveset Tauros to catch up to Snowbear? And I'm not saying that to disparage Snowbear or his main.
Well, here's the problem.
Tauros is just incredible.
Here's the problem. They do not have a fog badge or a way to do any more Johto gyms at the moment. It is looking like Olivine must have access to Kanto. And in Kanto, that Poliwrath will start falling off rapidly.
Yeah, that's when Snowbear is really going to notice it. And that's where the level difference for phiyun is going to very much help as well. I think the best case scenario for Snowbear is he finds Secret Potion in Olivine. That gives him an access to one more badge just right there in Olivine to fight Jasmine.
Which, if it's the Fog badge, it opens up another Johto gym with Price.
Yeah, and it opens up the entire Rocket Hideout sequence, which is a very gentle way to get some levels under your belt.
Yeah. But if they end up having to go into Kanto, then that Poliwrath just will need to be replaced one way or another. God, this Tauros.
Yeah. It's a monster right now, isn't it?
And we have the card key.
Yep.
When they do Rocket Tower, they can do both sides at once.
Yep, which is always more efficient to do.
And we're going to Kanto.
Got our Kanto access.
Kanto having only a couple of checks to do, though.
I think so when they're in Kanto, the priority should be finding the Fog badge. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, they only logically have one badge to check. And that's
Which
Janine.
Would be Janine.
They have Super Rod and Janine. One of those has to have continued progression for them.
So, ideally for me, what I would do is I would do for Snowbear's side, I'd probably set up a Death Warp to go check the Super Rod item, the Fishing Guru. Set that up first. So do a lot of shopping, get my X items, and whatever I can afford and sell it on. Maybe check the TMs while I'm there as well. Set up that Death Warp. Check the Super Rod item, then be heading down to Janine and hoping that would be the Fog badge, which it very likely is. Not guaranteed, but very likely.
With his Poliwrath, though, I would consider doing it all in one swoop, forgetting the Death Warp. Get some training on those Kanto trainers along the right side. Because that Poliwrath is only level 30. It's going to have a tough time with Janine's high 30s team.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Is potentially going down to Fuchsia City through routes 12 to 15. That'd be a very interesting play. It's something that we would very, very rarely see.
Whereas phiyun will be able to just punch his way through it.
Yeah, very much so.
Completely literally, he has Dizzy Punch.
And he doesn't have to set up Death Warp since he is going to be a higher level than even the biker trainer that would be in the way on, I think it's Route 9. But, yeah, we'll see what Snowbear does now that he is in Kanto.
Well, he's going to get a phone call, and he's going to check Psychic.
So it's phiyun, but they both got the bike shop at the exact same time.
Ooh, that's a spicy move. I just looked at it in the log.
TM29 is...
Magnitude.
Now that I would teach to the Tauros.
Yes, but not the Poliwrath. It has Dig, which 60 power is still relatively good.
I mean,
It's good enough. Not for this Poliwrath, but for if the Tauros had it.
Yeah. The Tauros definitely would make better use of it. That's for sure. So Snowbear is in Celadon. He is going to check the TMs first. Ooh, a flinching move. High crit move.
It's Raise's crit. That is Focus Energy.
Focus, okay. Ooh, fine, forgetting about
the Sailor.
So he hits a optional himself.
All right, we have Snowbear picking up Bone Club. And being sad about that.
Yeah.
Bone Club is only slightly stronger than Dig, but has a miss chance.
He sold Magnitude. But he does have Dig, so I can see why there.
He's looking at what he might sell for X items.
Shoutouts to Keyzeron, the name of that optional that Fine just hit.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, Fine getting an encounter. He apparently did not get any repels. Snowbear's forgoing the Super Rod and just going right down Cycling Road.
Yeah, why not? And in this case, I would probably also fight that biker on the way down, which he doesn't, because you'd have to fight him on the way up.
He might set up a Death Warp.
That's also true.
Which, with this Poliwrath, might not be that tough.
Now, if it is Death Warp, do you remember where he centered last?
If it wasn't in Celadon, then it was in Johto.
Yeah. Which then the Death Warp definitely makes sense.
Either way, it makes sense, as it skips having to go back up Cycling Road. But this means it looks like he's hoping that Super Rod is an unrequired item. But no matter what, he must know that Janine is required. You went to the Poké Center at Saffron? Alright. But yes, without Hive Badge, Fog Badge, or Plain Badge, progression is badge locked behind Janine.
Snowbear doing some inventory management right now.
Yes, the most likely scenario is that Janine is going to have the Fog Badge.
Right.
Oh no! That is the worst thing that he could see right now.
Yeah. So it looks like he's going to have to try to dispose of the Chikorita without X items, which is kind of a bummer because a Chikorita would be a very good thing to set up on. But if it's going to roar you out, well...
Or he can hope for a freeze. Oh.
The roar isn't as bad in this situation.
Urk, even if Super Rod were cut, they don't have the Hive Badge to use it.
He just let the Chikorita keep roaring around until the Poliwrath came back out.
It does unfortunately mean that he's going to lose some time to experience game.
The Ursaring, which just got a level up move, was High Jump Kick.
Oof. And there's a Bayleaf. Is he afraid of another... Oh! Oh my god!
Well, at this point... Okay, he's Outrage locked right now. Ooh, he's going to want to heal off that. That did exactly half of his remaining health. Yeah, Barra's High Jump Kick now.
Wait, is Fine fighting Sabrina?
Is he? Yes, he is.
Oh no! That minimized Pupitar, he can't jump kick it!
But he does have an X accuracy, so I think he's going to set up and use that X accuracy
Yeah.
and then be fine.
Oh yeah, there it goes. That Pupitar's done. Ooh. Oh, it lived!
Magic Pixel.
We are seeing some amazing fights going on right now.
Yeah, Snowbear's been kind of turned around in the Janine fight. That Doduo also living on the Magic Pixel on Fine screen. I'm watching Snowbear. He got Hyper Fang flinched by that Espeon.
Ouch.
Oh, and another Pokemon that just barely lived a High Jump Kick, but that time it was Hyper Potion. But wow, Fine making just excellent work of the of Sabrina's gym, getting the Earth Badge as a reward.
Oof.
Now, here's why this is such a good play for Fine. They already have HM2 Fly, and they're looking for the Storm Badge. And while Sabrina isn't technically in...
Oh no! Snowbear taking a Solar Beam!
So to finish my thought here, since he has fly, he's essentially looking for the storm badge, which Sabrina could very well be holding the storm badge. Not a bad play, because Sabrina's logic is considered like you don't have to. That doesn't have to be a first 7 like required badge.
Yeah.
But storm badge would not fall under that category, so not a bad idea, especially with the Roamer Toros. You got a good moveset, picked up a couple X attacks. Yeah, really smart decision from Phiyun's end to take care of that fight.
Wait, did Phiyun not...
Oh, the Cloister just used self-destruct.
I think that's still a win for him, though.
But it's still a win.
Did Phiyun do Morty?
Yes, Phiyun did do Morty.
Alright, so he has his Thunder badge.
Again, me on the tracker.
But there is Snowbear getting his progression. And since his Poly is dead, the Death Warp is easy.
Yeah. So
that Cloister going to explode is actually a blessing in disguise.
He got a wild encounter right before the trainer, but this should be okay. Come on, Snowbear, use that high jump kick. Uh-oh. Okay, there it is.
Alright, Phiyun heading towards Fuchsia City, where he will get his fog badge.
Did you see the fishing guru item? Again, me on tracker. I saw you went that way.
Let me take a look. Super Rod is the coin case.
Coin case.
So unfortunately, completely non-required. Though Snowbear's gonna go get it too, so... Or not. Where
yeah,
is he going shopping?
Like his death warp. Yeah, it looks like his death warp took him back to
Saffron.
Saffron. He can't do much shopping because remember he did just lose half of his money.
I know that he did some shopping in Celadon beforehand, though. He is going to go check the Super Rod, though, as it can be a required item.
Meanwhile, Phiyun starts the Janine fight, which absolutely has to be Fog Badge, and he knows that. And there's the Chikorita with Roar again. Yeah,
oh, Snowbear hitting an optional. Is he going for another Death Warp?
I think this is another Death Warp because he didn't fight the biker back on Route 9.
Okay, I was worried that he was originally thinking of going and doing Blind Rock Tunnel. Which we've seen before is a very costly move to make.
Yeah, not necessarily in logic this time. So Blind Rock Tunnel at this stage would lean itself to what's called the early Snorlax strat, but you would have to have the machine part in hand to make that work.
Yeah.
So
or hope that machine part is vanilla.
Yeah. And even then, that starts turning into the whole, like, where do I go fiasco. But if you have the machine part in hand as well as access to Surf, which Snowbear finally just got, then you fight that trainer that's blocky in Rock Tunnel, which has a level 35 Pokemon, I believe. If you can beat that, you just do Blind Rock Tunnel. You can look up the map. Totally
that is unfortunate for Phiyun. He got burned by the Cloister. Didn't matter, crit.
But he crit right through it. And then he reaps the justice of RNG by missing a high jump.
Oh, and the Wigglytuff has barrier.
Ooh, that's a 3-shot now. But fine, being able to finish that up and getting the Fog Badge. But yeah, if you have the machine part, you just fight that one trainer. You go through Rock Tunnel blind, which technically isn't in logic, but a smart play, because then you turn in the machine part, go back through Rock Tunnel, and then pick up the expansion card while you're back in Lavender to then use the Poke Flute to wake up the Snorlax, and you have your level 50 Pokemon. You can be on your way from there. But yeah, no machine part, not exactly a strat.
All right, here we go. Phiyun beginning the crawl.
Yeah, a little slow on his end, but safe. I wonder if Snowbear is a little short on repels, because I saw he took the short way through Route 42.
He has set up 2 death warps. Yeah, only 2 repels. He has one for going up, one for going back.
Yeah, thankfully you only go through 2 tiles of grass on your way back, so not an issue there.
And we have our shiny.
Huh. Nidoran. He could have another Nidoking.
A shiny Nidoking at that. Oh,
Yeah.
nope, he's just going to kill it.
I mean,
oh, there we see it again. Dig not killing because of the gender.
Yeah, that was... might be pretty close. Oh, by the way, with that being the Silverwing, we are a Glacier badge away from the Lugia strat being available.
Nobody's going to do the Lugia strat.
I can tell you Phiyun is definitely not going to do the Lugia strat.
Honestly, though, in Snowbear's shoes with this Poliwrath, it is a consider.
Yeah, I would consider it in his shoes, that's for sure. Because, of course, the Lugia being level 60, the highest...
I just looked at it. He should not do it.
Uh-oh. Tell me.
As we're not going to... As we are 99% sure we're not going to see it, it is a Machop.
Oh. Oh. But he already passed on the Machoke.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Zapdos. That could be a problem if it were any higher level.
Oh, he's got Ice Punch to take
Yeah.
care of that.
As I said, if it were a higher level, that could have been a problem. They are on the same seed.
Yes. Everybody uses the same seed together. Otherwise, you're pretty much just running 2 different games. If you didn't run the same seed, it would be like somebody playing Red version and somebody playing Crystal. And it's just they're just
It's one person playing blue and
different
one
games.
playing platinum.
Yeah, it's basically 2 entirely different games.
And the person playing blue gets to win. Blue's broken.
Yeah, you wouldn't know which one to you wouldn't know which one you're playing though until you know.
Yeah.
It may look like they're on different seats just because of how differently they're playing right now. With Snowbear having the Poliwrath, Phiyun going through a myriad of main switches.
Fine, going to fight Surge.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, this Tauros is going to do it.
Yeah, he's at level. That's plenty smart play, especially without the access to fly. You want to be as efficient as possible, especially with your movement. So, you know, if you're there and there are things to do, it's like, might as well take care of it. I mean, that was his strategy with the Sabrina fight just a couple minutes ago. So, yeah, very smart play by Phiyun, knowing that he's got the Pokemon that's going to take him through the course of the run. Zapdos with Blizzard. That's a higher level Zapdos.
Frieza!
For next time. Also, we got a Mewtwo on the screen. Mewtwo is glowing. By the way, I do have to say that was a smart use of Dig.
It really was.
Screen to avoid the Sky Attack, which would have absolutely obliterated him.
Alright, so another interesting thing. Once Phiyun beats Surge, he will have access to Rocket Tower.
Which
So
would
when
be
he takes the
perfect.
pass back, he could clear it out before even going towards Mahogany.
Yeah, which is perfect for him. Again, that leads itself to efficient play and efficient routing without the use of fly. Because then he just has to go up to Saffron, take the magnet train, and you're 5 tiles away from the radio tower.
Surge kind of giving him the business with those bad magnitude rolls, though.
Yeah. By the way, if you notice, they Fine did pick up leftovers when he was in Celadon, switched it out with the amulet coin, because at this point he's definitely got enough money to carry him through the rest of the game, so the leftovers is going to be more valuable at this point. It is a little bit slower, but it is more valuable, especially for these early Kanto gym fights. It makes those fights a lot safer.
You know, I'm realizing that even after Snowbear fights Price, he's still one badge short of Rocket Tower. So he's likely... Oh, there's plain badge when they find strength. That's a thing.
Yep. It also gives Fine yet another key item check when he returns to Goldenrod, which I'm sure is...
And a boost to his stab moves. That is a really powerful badge for Phiyun.
Man, imagine surfing in the water in Vermilion and not getting an encounter. It seems like a myth to me.
Yes, Phiyun is routing this very efficiently, but whereas Snowbear has to be a bit more careful in his strats because the Poliwrath is, again, a subpar main for this.
Right, I think Snowbear is playing to what
he's playing
needs
safe.
To do. Yeah, and when you say safe, it's pretty much like fight the easiest trainers that you can first. So once he got the fog badge, it was okay. I need to head to Rocket Hideout because that gives me, I think it's like 8 fights.
8 lower level fights with decent experience.
Yeah.
Whereas Phiyun has just had this Tauros and he can push through
like,
whatever.
I'll just fight whoever is next to me. So yeah, they are both taking care of different rocket sequences right now.
Snowbear seems to be happy with his Poliwrath moveset. He's not going to check the TM there either.
Yeah. Alright, so we're just past the 1 hour mark. So we're probably about 40% or so the way through this race. Of course, a lot of you have heard this before. We're looking for the Go Mode items in our key item randomizer. So those are the 6 required key items to allow us to complete the entirety of the game. We need Cut, Surf, and Strength, as well as the Secret Potion, Card Key, and Machine Parts, to which both players only have 2 of the 4. So we are a bit lacking in terms of key items, and I bring this up, Paradox, because at this stage of the game, your routing isn't necessarily just, oh, I'll just fight, what trainer is closest to me, but what is, like, the priority? Is it gym badges, or is it key item checks? And what do you think it is for these players right now in terms of what their priority is?
Well, for Phiyun, he is 1 gym badge of key item progression away from being able to just go full go mode. He needs the Hive badge, and then he has all the badges he needs to be in go mode. But he still needs Cut, he still needs Secret Potion, he needs Strength. Right now, prioritizing key items is the play. And with Rocket Tower, that is 2 back-to-back key items up top. With the plain badge, he gets another check at the bottom. He could do basement for a 4th one, all in Goldenrod.
If he had basement key, which he doesn't.
If he had basement key, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, if you never see basement key in these runs, you couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree completely. The badges have been nice, especially with...
Oh, and he needs Machine Part.
Right. I actually think Machine Part might be the lowest priority of all those badges. For me, getting Strength is probably the best thing that he could see right now.
Getting Strength would mean that Chuck's gym is open, Claire's gym is open, a lot of progression is available.
Yeah, and Chuck and Claire's gym being open, taking care of that early, just feels like such a relief because those are the 2 gyms with the most fights in them in all the game. They each have 5 trainers you must defeat.
There's also a lot of movement to get to either one of them. So you don't want to have to double
especially
back.
Blackthorn, right. Aside from that, how much weight would you put on finding the Storm Badge? Because both players do have Fly on hand, so as soon as they get the Storm Badge, they're whipping around, warping across the map. So
Fly makes things a lot faster, but they both have a lot of checks where they can find their regular key items without having to go too far out. That is a dead Magneton.
Wow, yeah.
So I think Storm Badge would be a low priority, as it can be literally any badge.
Yeah, it could be on blue for all we know.
Yeah, so right now, prioritizing key items in hopes of finding strength is the best play.
Yeah, and honestly, with strength being what I think is probably the highest priority, is once I find strength and I have plain badge as I do on Phiyun Scream, I would just head to Signwood, check out, defeat Chuck, because I have to go there anyways.
Well, don't forget about talking to Jasmine in the lighthouse, because that's two more key items.
Right, and that actually gives me an interesting thought. Hold on to that one for just a moment here, because that leads us to, do you want to climb the tower twice or not? But you at least have to head to Signwood once. So surfing to Signwood once, you have to do it anyways. There's no time loss there. But if I have strength, I get both a badge check, which could be Storm Badge, because, vanilla Storm Badge just sounds like it's such play. But then you also get Chuck's wife as yet another key item check. So to me, that sounds like such a great thing to have, but of course you have to find strength first.
Yeah.
But in that situation, so along those lines, would you climb the tower just to talk to Jasmine to open up that extra key item check in Signwood?
Absolutely.
At the cost of knowing that you're gonna have to climb it twice.
Absolutely, because with the uncertainty of where Storm Badge can be, that check could very well be a progression check. That check could be strength. It could be cut.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right.
It could be the machine part.
I would think that without the ability to fly, without having the Storm Badge, making that extra trip up the tower seems like less of a risk, because it's just right there. It goes back to efficient routing. Just do what you can kind of in your general area.
Especially since they have dig and can easily get back out.
Ooh. The headbutt from a Poliwrath couldn't one-shot an Igglybuff.
Again, that comes down to the gender difference. There's the Hive Badge! So at this point, Snowbear has 6 badges.
Ooh! And we got the Secret Potion on the False Director on Phiyun Screen.
Ooh, that's going to make it all of mine a lot easier.
Now that whole conversation of do you climb the tower, knowing you have to climb it twice, completely out of the equation.
Yep, that is one climb. But Snowbear is in the unfortunate position of having to go back to fight Surge. Or to make the Sabrina play, which, while not in logic, he knows that Surge is required by logic.
Yeah. The only other thing that would be super risky on his end would be to climb the tower and go to Signwood just for the one key item check. And
he is 100% going to Kanto, though.
Yeah, and that seems like it's so out of the way, and you can't really make any good use of it anyway.
Oh, but
Snowbear
he
hitting
hits
his
a trainer.
third optional of the day.
Then again, if this were a higher level trainer, I'd think that he's doing it for some experience, because this Poliwrath is still lagging behind.
Yeah, I think he just missed his movement by a tile.
Whereas Phiyun being a full 11 levels above.
Whew. And just absolutely blitzing through the rocket sequence.
Yeah.
Being able to do it in one swoop is a very good, feel-good moment to be able to take care of those 12 fights all at once. takes good PP management, and it's also good practice for when you have to do the Elite Four sequence as well, because you have to be a little bit conscious about not burning through
that
all your
execute
best moves
living.
right away.
I get the feeling that phiyun's Tauros is low on the attack DVs. It is a 100% male rate, so it could have 0 to 15
It could have
attack.
0, right. That has happened to me once before, by the way. I had a Tauros with 0 DV attack.
But seeing some of the
It feels
pokes
bad, man.
living...
Yeah, Snowbear heading back to Kanto.
With this Poliwrath,
Surge.
I would 100% do Surge before Sabrina. Sabrina has too much potential to be an absolute wall.
Yeah, and you get a little bit extra leveling going through Surge.
Wow, look at that
Because
Blissey.
you get the extra trainer.
4,300 experience.
Did you know that, and I've done maybe 50 or so Kiana randomizers in my day. Red did lead a Blissey once, a level 81 Blissey.
That is incredible.
Can you imagine how much experience that gave?
It would give well over 10,000.
Oh yeah, it was well over 10,000.
Because I've seen one on Red before give about 15,000 experience.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, I gained, it was about that, like 14 or 15,000 experience on my poke. But who I was racing at the time, which was Raph, had the unfortunate thing where he had to switch out. I think he had got like roared or whirlwinded or something that was a bit awkward.
Oh, did we see what phiyun got at the top of the tower?
Yes, it was the mystery egg.
Okay.
And so since Raph had to switch out, his HM friend, which was level 5 at the time, got half the experience from the Blissey, but it got it on the XY experience curve. So that half experience of a level 81 Blissey on a level 5 generated 22,000 experience.
Ooh, that is a large time loss. There's
And
the lost item.
And not only was it a large time loss, but it was also the Pokemon that was getting the levels on screen. And I remember back timing it, it was more than a minute and a half of just leveling up from level 5 to I think 23.
Oh my god.
It was... I remember you had a similar situation where you had like a level 3 defeat like some kind of level 30-something Machamp. And it was like a minute.
It
of
is
just leveling
still...
up, right?
That is still a command in my channel. It was a Mankey. And it was so
that's
bad.
Right. You, me, and Phiyun were all
Yeah.
laughing for like minutes about this.
I think that was on Chuck. It was so
yeah,
bad.
Unfortunately, Snowbear had to just reset because the Zapdos in Chuck's gym is a little bit mean. Or was that the trainer before?
I think that was the Golem, because he's immediately just going to take it down. That's right, because the Golem has Drill Peck.
Oh,
Yeah. Alright, fine, going to check the Super Rod. Did
Oh,
he
I thought he
did
went
he
that-
do his lost item check?
I thought he went that way already. Well, you got the coin case now. Unclick, click. He did get the lost item. I didn't see what it was.
Pulling it up right now. It was Strength.
Okay, perfect. I was wondering why he was going back to Lavender. I thought that he picked.
I'm
up
gonna
the
check
coin
his
case
stream to
earlier,
make sure
but
that he did get it. Yes. No, he does not have Strength marked.
he doesn't.
He did not get the lost item.
I saw him go up. I
could have sworn he went in there.
Yeah, I could have sworn he went in there as well.
He just doesn't have it marked. He's got Strength if he went in there.
I will say this. It happens to me a lot. No, it wasn't Strength. It was Flash.
Was it Flash?
I'm looking back at the the highlight right now.
So lost item. Hold on a second.
So, okay, so this is where I think you're getting confused, is that the lost item is...
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the lost item up there. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong one. He did get Flash. Well, now we know where strength is.
Now we know where strength is.
My bad, I was dumb.
Hitting an optional. So this is where this gets confusing. So handing in the lost item usually gives you the magnet train pass.
Yeah, and I just looked at the lost item.
And you looked up at the fan club delivering you the lost item.
Yep.
Yeah, it gets confusing. I usually try. That's usually why I try to say things like checking the fishing guru, as opposed to checking the super run.
Yeah.
Where is the location? So it's the copycat girl. By the way, phiyun just hit 2 optionals in a row just now.
Oof.
So they are both on par in terms of optionals. They're both at 3-3 optionals.
Meanwhile, snowbear just beat Surge, and he's on his way back to Kanto to do Rocket Tower.
Yeah, so now this is this will be a big relief for him to be able to do those Rocket Tower fights.
Whereas I think that phiyun is on his way to do Mahogany.
And it looks like actually Snowbear going to the Mart first. I was wondering why I was taking
Well,
the right.
he has Secret Potion. He might go and do Olivine.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It all depends on if he goes left or right once he gets
Left
into
or right.
Ecruteak.
And honestly, either way probably isn't a bad play. Let's see here. I would probably go right, to be honest. I would take care of those rockets.
Yes, it is 2 key items and a badge versus potentially 1 key item and a badge.
And it actually could be 3 because he could check Ice Path.
That is true. He has the 7 badges required.
And yeah, and be in the vicinity of it anyway. So yeah, I think this is the right play.
Yeah. And picking up a charcoal.
He picked up a Master Ball just outside Route 42.
Alright, there's Snowbear getting his lost item.
I wonder if Snowbear will just immediately hand it in. Yep.
Yep. He is hoping that it is cut, I'm thinking.
Just going back and forth.
Because if it's cut, that opens up Machine Part Quest. Also, he's right there, so there's really no harm in doing it. Alright, phiyun's going to get to see his blue Nidoran.
I hope he Master Balls it with the Master Ball that he just picked up.
Oh?
Nope.
Nope, he's just chucking a Pokeball.
I wonder if he could high jump kick it and it would live, because it would be not very effective. No, he's just gonna wreck it. Okay. Goodbye.
He gave it 1 shot.
Yeah.
And now he has his Silver Wing. He could try and get his own level 60 Machop.
They still don't have the Glacier badge yet. So
Alright, Snowbear's teaching Flash. Where is he going? Snowbear, you don't have Zephyr.
Yeah, and he doesn't have... So I guess if he is unlocking the Machine Part quest, this is the way he has to go.
Yep, he's gonna do Blind Rock Tunnel.
Alright.
Or he thinks he has Zephyr and he'll realize his mistake when he gets inside.
And phiyun is starting the Press A simulator.
I mean, Natoros is a monster. It's gonna ruin everything.
He's gonna see a Zapdos and be like...
He's over 30 levels higher than everything. Oh, he's out of E-Speed, though. He needs that Lance Heal.
Yeah. Honestly, I count on that Lance Heal a lot.
Oh, Snowbear realizing he doesn't have Zephyr.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate, but... Oh, wait, he's going back!
He's going back! Okay,
he's gonna do it!
Okay, he's gonna pick up the... Oh.
No, he's not getting the TM.
Not getting the TM, even though he was literally...
right next to it.
Away. Looks like he might have a map pulled up right
now. I just looked it up. He'd be very happy if he didn't get it. He has that move already.
do enlighten me.
It's TM28.
Oh. Okay. You don't have to say anymore.
Yeah, I didn't even look at the move. It's like, oh, TM28. We all know what that is. That's Dig.
Always has been. Wait, it's all TM28.
Tombstoner.
No, in Gen 3 they changed it to Tombstone.
No, it's always going to be Tombstoner for me.
I know.
Tombstoner sounds like an awesome move.
It does sound like an awesome... It sounds like Rock Tomb, but better. By the way, if anybody in chat has some Edda quiz times...
Oh, that's a good one.
It's such a good emo. Yeah, very good. See, look, Fine sees a Mewtwo on his screen and rolls a magnitude 10 on it.
Freeze is gone. Chucked into the planet.
I believe magnitude 10 is base 150 power.
I believe that is correct.
Making it 50% more powerful than Earthquake.
It makes a huge leap from 9 to 10.
Yeah. Alright, so Snowbear has activated Machine Part Quest. Has not completed it. And too bad the power plant isn't a fly point, to be honest. Wouldn't that be a quality of life change?
It would. But we've got Snowbear doing the back half. Well, the return trip and tunnel. Maybe he'll pick up Dig on the way out.
Fine getting the Lance heal on the right. Probably be like, oh, thank goodness. Actually, you know, it's funny that Lance gives you the free heal. Because Lance is always the one spamming full restores at the end of the game, anyways, right?
Honestly,
of course,
Lucas, I would think that Tombstoner would be a ghost move.
Actually, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if it's like Rock Tomb and it's like Rock Tomb, a Rock type move that slows your speed, then Tombstoner would just be a Ghost type move that slows your speed, right?
I don't know. I like the Sky Drop idea, but Phantom Force already exists.
Wants to be. Hard agree. Very good. Yes.
Yeah, I'll give you that, Eagle Wing.
It'll be interesting to see where Snowbear goes next, because we know what Fine's gonna do. He's gonna take care of this.
He's gonna fight Price.
Yeah, fight Price. Probably get the Ice Path item while he's there, and then head on over to Olivine. Pretty straightforward on his end. So, what do you think Snowbear is gonna be up to? I think Radio Tower sequence is probably next in line for him.
He might go up to Cerulean to check what the machine part is. Also, Rascal, that is a funny idea.
Yeah, good play there. And actually, since Snowbear has started that quest, as soon as he finishes, as soon as he finds machine part, we know via spoiler log that will unlock yet another key item that is very much required.
Yep.
But yeah, I think more rockets is next on the path here.
No, Lucas, I believe you spelt Phantom Force correctly the first time. Alright, well now Snowbear has to go back to Lavender to unload the biker.
Yep. Yeah, that's why you oftentimes see people fighting the red biker on the way there, which kind of looks like an optional at first, and then you realize, oh, he's not so much optional.
But he hits the spinner.
But this guy definitely is an optional. That's optional number 4 for Snowbear. Yeah, the spinner there actually should theoretically be very easy to pass if you basically just don't flinch. If you just go, you can pass right by him. One time I had a rappel run out on the frame I was passing him, and yeah, that killed enough frames that I hit that guy once.
I am a fan of my stutter steps, though. Yo, a tiny mushroom. Alright, fine, going into the last rocket fight. It's actually his last rocket fight of the race.
Yeah. Doing the rocket sequence backwards, so to speak, doing rocket tower before the rocket hideout. Snowbear is heading up to Cerulean, so it looks like he's going to take care of the hedge maze.
Oh, he's going shopping first, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kanto marks are a little confusing.
But there's our bye-bye a go-go.
Bye-bye a go-go. Looks like he's going to check the item first, which is the SS ticket.
That is unfortunately not helpful.
Yeah, not at all.
As they already had the 2 or 3 items necessary to unlock Kanto.
Yeah, and honestly, the better of the 2 items to just have Squirt Bottle and Pass makes it the easiest to travel back and forth. Training arc time, yeah, that is true. So 7 fights in the hedge maze on the way up to Bill's cottage, which is currently being inhabited by his grandfather?
Sounds about right.
I haven't gone inside Bill's cottage in quite some time. Man, can we just talk about how good this Tauros is?
As I said, I think its attack DVs are a bit low, but that moveset is just scary.
It's strong enough to certainly power through.
There's more evidence of the Polyrath's gender coming into play.
Yeah.
Dig failing to kill a Jolteon 10 levels under.
Not an Electrode, which just straight up outspeeds him, of course.
I mean, Electrode is one of the fastest Pokemon out there.
I believe it's fastest in this generation at base 135?
That sounds about right.
I think 135 in this generation.
I'll go ahead and check on that.
I'm getting a little bit better with stats. I've been watching a lot of shenanigans recently, and man, that boy just knows those
140
stats inside and out. 140, okay.
Yeah, Electrode is super speedy. Did Phiyun check the Ice Path item? Or did he come back to do a quick shop?
He's doing the shop. Oh, looks like he's just doing the shop right now.
Alright.
Do you remember what the item that Lance gave? I don't think it was anything particularly useful.
What's the item he normally gives? He usually gives
Whirlpool. Was it the basement key?
Basement key.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, fine taking care of the gym first, which, yeah, that's probably the right thing to do, because if he gets...
Yeah.
He's thinking, if I get Storm Badge here, that saves me movement heading to Ice Path anyways.
Storm Badge would be useful. Zephyr Badge would be useful. We know it's Hive Badge, but that's a little less useful.
It's a little less useful because we just don't have Cut yet. Okay, so Tauros has returned. I didn't see if that was a level up move recently, but honestly, a Tauros with return, that's going to be monstrous in the endgame.
Oh yeah, it goes up to base 102.
102.
So,
and I mean, as long as it's higher than base 80, you're already doing more damage than what strength would normally do.
With stab and the plain badge boost, it'll be base power 171.
Jeez. At that point, it doesn't even matter what your attack DV is. That's just gonna hurt everything, except for rocks and ghosts.
Assuming he reaches that level of happiness.
Yeah, which I'm sure he should. I mean, you go throughout the course of this game, and I think by using the Pika Salve, I've seen there's never been a time where I haven't been base 200 happiness at the end. And usually you're like maybe 220s, 230s on average, but yeah, I mean, he's ran it through almost the course of the entire run, so it shouldn't be too much of a...
TM11 at Sell It on Mart.
Oh yeah, because it was based on happiness, which could be return or frustration. But nice to see that the Hive Badge and Cut were in close succession to one another, so fine picking up a great item there.
Which, that opens up the machine part quest.
Yeah, it makes it a...
It also opens up Erica.
Yeah, I think Erica would probably be the next on his list. Well, it's still curious. He does have Secret Potion in hand.
Oh, I'm seeing some of that. I have to look something up.
Meanwhile, Snowbear is just about to start the Misty fight.
Oh no!
Looks like phiyun is heading to Olivine.
Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. Alright, he's gonna head to Olivine. I guess turn in the Secret Potion, fight Jasmine. Hope she has a Storm Badge.
Yeah, I think this is starting to get to the point where it's like Storm Badge is a bit more useful now if you can get it, because those item checks are going to be farther and farther apart, making it just a bit more difficult to route around.
But does this mean that he's going to hope that strength is in Cyanwood?
Or the machine part as well. Getting the machine part in Cyanwood wouldn't be a bad key item check either. So on phiyun, he just needs 2 more items, strength and the machine part. Whereas Snowbear is looking for those 2 plus the Secret Potion and cuts. He did just get Rising Badge from Misty.
Now,
Yeah,
the question is, with Rising Badge and Waterfall, does Snowbear think he has to do Elite Four?
Probably not yet. There's certainly a lot that he can still do. Primarily, he still has to fight the Rocket Radio Tower sequence.
Yeah, because Secret Potion was in Tower, wasn't it?
Yes, Secret Potion was the False Director item. And since he is in Saffron right now, he is very close to being able to just start that sequence.
He's going into Sabrina.
Which isn't a bad play either. He is just right there. He's much closer level-wise now, especially after a bit of some training arcs. Fine, making it to the top of the lighthouse.
And using the Poly Dig.
I mean, if you got it,
Yep.
you're saving yourself on escape ropes.
And there is Jasmine leading a Wheezing, which Vistoro should absolutely demolish.
Yeah. Especially with magnitude. No question.
Mag 8, yeah. And a 22 level difference.
So far, this is Oh.
Oh, dead.
Another magnitude 10. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, it lived!
Lives. Just barely. Maybe return not as powerful quite yet. But it wasn't really any kind of risk.
Yeah. And the Boulder Badge!
Alright. So Snowbear is starting the
Bubble.
rocket radio sequence. Keep your eyes on Phiyun's screen to see if he's going to be surfing over to Signwood.
Oh, he's going to Signwood!
Yeah, why not? Why not? Evolves into Wobbuffet. But why not head to Signwood? Oh, he's gonna do a save scum strat.
Yep.
So if it is a needed item, he'll just go ahead and progress with his life. If not, he'll just take a save warp back. Kind of thought about it at the last second. But
now, I've already looked at the log, so I know what's here.
Oh, I will be as surprised as the rest of the chat.
Yep. I mean, there's no point in me telling you guys. We're about to see it.
We're about to see it anyways. And it is the machine parts.
100% required.
Yeah. So.
And since I accidentally spoiled where strength was for chat, that means Signwood is required to get strength.
So, yeah. So Phiyun is in an unbelievably great position. He is definitely, he's definitely made all the right plays, and those plays have paid off more than not.
And since he has cut, he could do left side Kanto when he goes to turn that in.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much set up to be able to finish the rest of the game. The only question now is just finding the Storm Badge. So what's going to happen here is Phiyun is absolutely going to be blitzing his way back to Kanto to start and complete the machine part quest all in one fell swoop. He'll head on over to start doing all the other gyms, including in
Erica, Brock,
Erica,
Blue, Blaine,
I just had an absolute
and Misty.
brain fart. Yes.
And
if he finds Storm Badge at some point, he'll have it. And since when he goes to clear the Snorlax, he'll be in Vermilion City anyways, so
we know he'll get strength there.
Eventually. Yeah, so very nice pick there. Friendly reminder, stay hydrated, everybody. This message was brought to you by water. Drink it.
Alright. Well, I keep a 1.5 liter bottle at my desk.
Very good, yeah. I got a cup here as well.
Alright, fine, back on the train, heading to turn in his machine part, which he can do the regular way.
Yeah, he's I'd be surprised if he didn't head north. Looks like he's gonna fight Erica first, though.
Solid play. It could be Storm Badge.
Yeah, Storm Badge is certainly now. Remember when we said the priority was like strength, and now we're getting a little bit late on strength. I think Storm Badge is a bit more the priority at this point.
Meanwhile, I have the fun privilege of knowing exactly where Storm Badge is.
You have fun with that privilege.
I will. It's definitely entertaining.
Very good.
And before the race, I had talked to both Snowbear and phiyun, and phiyun was wanting me to give something terrible to them. And Snowbear was sad that I couldn't give them the super free ROM I generated earlier this week, which was guaranteed fly capable after Bugsy.
Oh yeah, I was watching that race.
No, it never got raced.
Oh, it never did?
It was generated for another race, but that race unfortunately could not happen. So it was now a wasted seed.
Actually, there was a race earlier in this tournament where one of the first items, I think it was the Sprout Tower item, was Fly, and Bugsy was Storm Badge. There was a race that was raced in this tournament that was like that, and it was like, wow, I've never seen a Fly that early.
The one I generated earlier this week was Fly at Cut, Bugsy Storm Badge. It didn't require Elm, it didn't require Basement. It was the freest seed I had ever seen with a starter Zapdos.
Wow. That's
Giga Drink Ice Beam Zapdos.
Yeah, at that point it isn't even fair. It's just like, nah, we want to give our racers a challenge.
Yeah, we don't need a 130 seed.
Yeah.
Hello there, Zyra.
Yeah, 2 races at once. A busy Saturday, yeah. Hopefully everybody in chat is watching both the races right now, because not only is
the other race still going?
Yeah, I have got it on the side. They just hit the 2.5-hour mark, and it is between Wingage and Hercules Bench Press. And that is on the Randomania main channel. And just a little bit of a hint in case you don't have it up. It is a Porygon 2 versus an Ursaring in that match. They are not completed yet, but they are getting down to it. So the end of that match will be quite shortly.
But those are 2 very solid, if slow, mains.
Yeah, but good attack power for those are 2 very good normal types.
Oh yeah.
That race will be very interesting. They will be
both split attackers too.
Yeah. And actually they're split in the opposite ways, because Porygon 2 is a bit more specially oriented, and the Ursaring is a lot more physically oriented, but it does have serviceable special attack.
Mage Bear is a thing.
Yeah, by the way, Geospone in our chat here on Randomania 2 is actually commentating the other match.
He is, yes.
On Randomania 1. So
how he's managing to keep track of what we're saying and what he's saying.
Get back to work. What do we pay you for? By the way, none of us are paid. We're all volunteers.
Oh, yeah.
The runners, the commentators, the restreamers, we're all volunteers. We do this for fun. We love Pokemon. We love our community. And honestly, shout outs to everybody that has made this possible. Snowbear and Athena have been just an integral part of putting this tournament together in the first place, really recruiting a lot of us to be a part of it as well. And we've seen a lot of players with even very little experience with Pokemon randomizers just jump in and say, this sounds like fun, I want to be a part of it. So we all don't have to be Snorm's level of excellent play. We're all just having fun, we're all here with our friends, and honestly, this has been a really great and entertaining time for the lot of us. Snowbear doing the final fights of the Rocket Radio sequence.
His final rocket.
By the way, did I see phiyun do the Hedge Maze trainers first, and now he's heading to hand in the machine part?
He may have.
A bit awkward. It's not really that much of a, say, time loss. Just means you have to go bike through the Hedge Maze twice, but you only have to fight the trainers once. So.
Hold on, we managed to miss marking a badge on phiyun's side. He has Volcano.
does have Volcano? Okay.
Yep, because that was Erica.
Oh, he must have got through Erica so fast.
He did. He ripped through that gym.
I literally blinked and I missed it.
Tauros!
Yeah, thanks for helping me out there.
That Tauros is an absolute
Maybe
monster.
It was Erica's gym that I was probably seeing him just tear apart. And I believe we just got the, what was it, the mystery egg at the top?
I believe that was it.
I'm gonna double check the replay here.
He did.
Whoa.
Okay. Clear Bell Mystery Egg.
They've got the clear bell?
No, the Clear Bell item was Mystery Egg, so he does have Mystery Egg.
Okay. That's what I remember from Fine's here, but remember the two routes have been so different. It's just like
bye go.
Yeah, Fine picked up that item like 40 minutes ago, and I gotta remember what item that was.
Okay, now Fine's heading up to the Hedge Maze. Which again, this Tauros.
Oh my goodness, Snowbear is going for.
He's going for basement. Right now. What could this be that would make it? I mean, we know that it's not going to be anything required because I let slip where strength is.
Well, that is true. And
but he's still looking for cut, strength, and machine part.
Honestly, not the worst decision in the world without the knowledge that we know as commentators here. Because he doesn't have access to fly, and that's so big when it comes to your routing. Because do you want to just bike across the entirety of Johto and Kanto to look for items all across the map, and then still have that lingering potential that the basement might still be something? So I think
because
fly,
this is a much
less dangerous play.
It is a much safer play than either Ice Path or Cyanwood.
Though I think Snowbear might be in his own head, though. Because with only, let's see here, 3 of the 6 Go Mode items heading into the near 2-hour mark, he's probably thinking, man, this has got to be the play.
Especially since he knows that his opponent, phiyun, is not a fan of the basement.
Right. So it still could be a big save. But here's my counter argument for still skipping the basement, even though you're starting to get a little bit nervous about it might having an item. And my counter argument is, they have fly, they just don't have the storm badge. So if you prioritize getting the storm badge and doing your badge checks, you could get that storm badge, which makes it much easier to be able to warp back to Goldenrod and then check that item if you need to. The only problem is that, obviously, without strength, it's like, oh, storm badge could still be in Signwood or in Blackthorn.
Storm badge, yeah, could be Cyanwood, but he doesn't have he doesn't have strength to do it.
Right.
So
if he's thinking, if this item is strength, and then Cyanwood is storm badge,
then it's a huge time save.
Yeah, that would be a huge time save and be very efficient on his end. The only problem is that in a couple seconds, he's going to be vastly disappointed. It does take about 3 minutes to go through this sequence, because you do have to do those 2 fights, which are on the longer end. He only gets the Super Rod as a reward. But he gets the extra TM just in case.
Ooh, Flame Wheel.
Not terrible. Certainly no Flamethrower.
No. Very little is Flamethrower.
Yeah. By the way, over on Randomania 1, Wingage did just finish up with a time of 2:38. So congratulations to him.
Yes, that is a congratulations to Wingage, and I'm just going to go ahead and say a GG to both him and Hercules bench press.
Yeah, I am actually really happy that Herc decided to take part. I know that he doesn't have as much experience. He doesn't dedicate as much time to practicing these as some of the other players. But, you know, props to him for just being so open and, you know, just learning very quickly. You know,
well, I mean, he is also one of the admins for the Cinco Bingo.
Yeah, absolutely. It just wouldn't feel the same without him, now would it?
No. He's the one who basically is responsible for getting all of us together.
Yeah. By the way, Hercules Bench Press does have a run in GDQ this year. He's going to be doing a Super Metroid 1% race. And I'm very, very excited to see him do that. Definitely one of his best speedrunning routes.
You said Super Metroid?
I think it's Super Metroid. Let me
1% I think is Metroid Fusion.
Oh, you might be right about that.
Which that is an amazing run.
You're right. It is Metroid Fusion 1% hard race, and it will be him and C. Scotty W.
That is an amazing, heavily technical race.
Yeah, that's a Friday race for the GDQ schedule, which, by the way, is the week of August 16th. And I know a lot of us, of course, are big GDQ fans.
Well, I look forward to seeing him do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's the Rising Badge.
Here we go. And the SS ticket for good measure. By the way, the other Pokemon speedrunners that are running at GDQ this year, there's going to be a Fire Red Leaf Green race between Pulse Effects and JP, and that's going to be really fun because I watch those two streamers a lot, and I believe Pulse is going to do the Charmander route, and JP's going to do the Squirtle route.
Fine getting his rare candy, and then he's going to get the lost item.
The lost item.
The lost item. And strength!
Which is a lost item strength item.
With that, Phiyun is now in go mode.
What, the 157 mark?
But he doesn't have an expansion card.
Yeah, so a little bit inefficient here. He forgot to go to Lavender first, but he will be able to do a weird bit of movement where if you go from Lavender Town, you can go through Route 11 and get to the Snorlax, attacking it from the right.
So start getting your guesses in for what the Snorlax is going to be. Metroid Fusion, Breath of Wild, and Fire Red Leaf Green all back to back to back. Oh, that sounds like just a delightful day.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the other Pokemon run is the GDQ finale. It is Etiquette running Shield.
Ooh.
Which is an absolutely fun run. Because if you don't know that Sword and Shield have two very different runs, it's actually based around them having slightly different gym leaders.
You said Shield?
Yeah, the Shield run. The Shield.
Is that one still Arcanine into Excadrill?
Absolutely right. It is the main switch of Palooza run. So you start with Score Bunny to get the Charcoal. You run the Arcanine, and then the Excadrill, and then of course you get the the Eternus. Yep. At the end. So that's going to be a very, very fun run.
Well, bye, Magby.
And I just saw Snowbear defeats Jasmine.
Jasmine being Boulder Badge, I believe?
Yes, that was correct.
And he's on his way to get his machine part. The Route 2 Scourge Spinner.
The Route 2 Bug Catchers are...
That spinner is the worst one in the the game.
Yeah, very difficult to pass because if you have perfect movement up to that cut tree, you can make a very efficient path by going straight up and then to the right, like through the grass.
But without that efficient movement, you will hit him.
Yeah.
Wait, did Snowbear just get the Shucky?
Yeah, he did. He might be hoping it has teleport, but it doesn't. Honestly, not a bad play. I think we calculated out that any Pokemon has like a 3% chance of having teleport. Yeah, one item closer for Snowbear.
Alright, so let's take a quick look at this. With Wingage beating Herc, that means that Wingage's next opponent is Vice and Dythus, and Herc is unfortunately now out of the tournament, as that was a loser's round 1 match.
Yep, now an elimination bracket.
Yep. Whereas this match is winner's round 3. The winner of this match will go on to face Athena Sykes, and the loser will get to fight me.
Huh. Very good. So you're pretty much just doing some reconnaissance right now.
Well, I mean, there's also the fact that we have all of, like, 4 restreamers, and 2 of them are racing.
Fine, picking up another charcoal. We'll see if he does the efficient movement on the southern half of Route 2, because you have to avoid 2 more bug catchers.
No, he's going further into the grass.
Yeah, the first bug catcher actually doesn't have very good sight. He's a little low to the ground, so he can't see you when you're in the grass. The other bug catcher, however, you do have to have him off screen, which makes it easy because essentially as you come out of the supposed Viridian Forest, which has been a bit deforested in Crystal Virgin, you just go straight down. Just literally straight down, no problems.
Also, I'm just going to quickly mark the badge for Fine because he did beat Brock.
Ah, I missed that.
It was the Marsh badge. So still no Storm badge. Meanwhile, we have Snowbear going into Ice Path where he will find Cut. I feel like I'm going to have some choice words for me later.
This hasn't been too bad of logic. The machine part being on the pharmacy item certainly was the most difficult play to figure out.
Yeah. Up and there's Snowbear remembering he has Dig. Meanwhile, Fine heading over to Blaine.
Yeah, only a few gyms left. If Blaine doesn't have Storm Badge, I would say your best bet is to just go ahead and fight Blue while you're back in Viridian City, hoping that he has Storm Badge, of course. And then from there, maybe take on the E4. At the cost of having to fight Rival 1 when you warp back to New Park Town.
Yeah.
Which, ooh, scary level 5.
That level 5 ride-on. Alright, we can see from Vitoros attacking the Krabby there that Return is under 80 power at the moment.
Yep. Not quite there yet.
Soul Badge from Blaine. So with that, there are 3 badges left. One of them is Storm, but which one is it?
It's incredible. Wasn't Fly one of the first items that we got?
It was so early, and Storm Badge has decided to be so late.
It's just classic. You get one, but not the other. One is early and the other one is late.
See, Fly was the blue card, so the first go into Goldenrod.
Yeah, and remember, Phiyun actually went to Goldenrod early.
So he's had Fly almost since the start of this race.
Pretty much since like the maybe 15-minute mark at the latest.
But here he is going to fight Blue.
Yeah.
Snowbear getting his leftovers.
Yeah, that was probably an item he needed maybe an hour ago on his first trip down to Fuchsia. Would have definitely helped him against that gym badge fight.
Alright, and here's Blue, leading a Steelix. With a couple of X attacks, it should go down fairly easily. That's Seismic Toss. Lock on Seismic Toss. This is an interesting Steelix.
Okay, yeah, he's at fit. I was looking at the he had the high jump kick disabled.
Oh, Mag 9, dead.
Yeah. Oh, Larpus.
That would be a great spot for high jump kick.
Ooh, Psywave, that could be really trolly. Psywave can hit as much damage up to double its level.
Psywave is just one of the worst moves to see.
Yeah.
Because on your own, it's gonna probably be low power, but against you, it's always just terrible.
Yeah. Oh, see, in that case, it only did...
Yeah, it only did 11. And there's no resisting it, either. Like, dark types are immune, sure, but...
Yep.
It's just such a weird move. No!
Hey, there you go.
Phiyun, why?
Hey, at least he didn't drop rocks on it.
Yeah, true.
High jump kick undisabled.
Oh, magnitude
Wait,
4.
Did that Foragers have, like, acid armor?
No, it used Meditate.
Ah, that's what it was.
Whereas Snowbear is now on Erica. Helix.
I am very glad to have high jump kick back by the end of that fight.
And a Fanpy. So Blue not being much problem. And giving Phiyun the Zephyr Badge!
So we know now that the Storm Badge is strength locked. So from here, E4 or back to Johto? Looks like the answer is going to be the E4 since you are just right there.
Yep. Even with having to fight Rival 1, this is faster than biking all the way back to Saffron.
Yeah. And we got the Volcano Badge over on Snowbear's side.
Now here's the thing, they have to wonder, well Phiyun will have to wonder, is Storm Badge vanilla or is it on Claire?
Right, so you do still have a choice to make.
And choosing wrong could be costly time-wise.
Yeah, it is kind of a strange one here.
So, I mean, in this situation, which one would you bet on? You have the Cyanwood Fly Point, but not the Blackthorn one. So you would save more time from Blackthorn to Cyanwood if Blackthorn is Fly, but you would lose so much more.
Yeah, it is a bit curious. So, essentially, this is what we need to do. When you're in Ekritik, you got to go left or right when you get there.
Yep.
If you go right to go fight Claire and you're wrong, you have to backtrack through Ice Path, which is faster to go backwards.
Not
than
exactly.
forward.
You can go through Dark Cave.
Oh yeah, Dark Cave is always an option too. So if you go through Dark Cave, that can be actually rather quick. Or if you go left to Signwood
and you're wrong,
you have to surf back.
It is full jet across the north.
Yeah, and that's a trip that Phiyun has already made forward and backwards to get the machine part in the first place. So yeah, I think with Dark Cave being right there, being your shortcut backwards, I think Blackthorn's the option. It may not be the right option, but
it's less time loss if you're wrong, as well as more time gain if you're right.
Yeah. Well, let's have our chat just place some bets. Not necessarily, you know, what's the most efficient play, but who's gonna have the store badge? Will it be Claire or will it be Chuck? Well, yeah, that's the only decision Phiyun has left to make in this whole race. He's just got all the Elite Four and all the other fights left to go.
Yep.
Which still is a fair number of fights, because remember those two gyms that are strength locked are the longest ones. They each have 5 fights each.
All right, we have Eagle Wing guessing Chuck. Whereas Phiyun has currently gotten past Will. Snowbear about to get his copy of Strength. Does he get the rare candy? He is going to get the rare candy.
No, he said no. Oh, no, he said yes.
Now, will either of them make the mistake I did in my last race and accidentally rare candy your HM poke?
Yeah, Gio did that in his last race, too.
My Haunter earned that, though.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, since our first match of the day finished with Wingage defeating Hercules bench press, we want to welcome in anybody else that has straggled on over across the Randomania channels from 1 to 2. Welcome in, everybody.
Oh, we got another guest for Chuck from Kirby Fan.
Yeah, welcome in. I'm T-Pad alongside Paradox, and we got Snowbear and Phiyun kind of finishing up their race here. Phiyun with a decisive lead, it's got to say, not just in progression and in gym badges and in key item checks, but also he's got the significantly stronger...
T-Pat's audio is low? I'm sorry, when he got into call earlier, like, it blew my ears out how high it was. Alright, I've turned him up a bit.
My apologies if I wasn't talking loud enough. Trust me, I've got a booming voice, so I'm not surprised that I accidentally scared you when I jumped in the Discord channel.
Is that better, everyone?
Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. I'm T-Pat. That's Paradox. We got Snowbear and Phiyun. Phiyun definitely with a decisive lead in this one. To recap here, we had an early squirt bottle item, so both players did check the Pseudo-Wudo, which was a Polyrath. Snowbear has kept that Polyrath the whole way, committing to teaching it TMs early, including Ice Punch and Tri Attack. Phiyun, on the other hand, had a couple opportunities. We had a Good Rod at one point. I believe it was the Farfetch'd quest item was the Good Rod. He found, believe this, a special 2 spoons. And not only was it special, it had Psybeam. Taught it Ice Punch, taught it Surf, and then immediately got the roaming Tauros with high jump kick. Taught it Return, which was TM 11 in this case. And Magnitude was also a TM, so that's where the Tauros really started to take off, was to get that roamer.
I am going to clarify. When he says special 2 spoons... It only had Psybeam.
It only had Psybeam.
It still had Sword Stance.
It still had Sword Stance, just to make sure that the troll potential was there. But with Surf and Ice Beam, and then Psybeam, it was Beam.
Yeah.
It was a beam two
Ice
spoons,
punch.
and then
Ice punch, not ice beam.
Okay, yeah, ice punch. You're right. But yeah, the Tauros came along and said, "Hey, I heard you didn't want to be too frail." So yeah, Fine wrapping up. Fine's already in go mode, and looks like Snowbear just recently got into go mode by just picking up the strength item. The only question that's left is, where is Storm Badge? So yeah, anybody that's tuning in from the Randomania1 channel, we have 2 checks left for Storm Badge, which Fly was one of the first items we picked up in this whole match, and we still don't have Storm Badge. It's either on Chuck or Claire. We would like to have everybody guess in the chat what you think it's going to be.
So far, we've got 3 votes for Chuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, Raikou was a Raikou in this randomizer.
Sure was.
Yeah, so going for the roamers wasn't necessarily a bad strat at all.
That is a 4th vote for Chuck. Meanwhile, Fine about to fight Lance.
Yeah, Fine making very quick work of the E4. I believe he just hit level 60 as well, so at a decent level, too.
What the?
Looks like Lance unevolved his Charizard. And Snowbear just got Brock's badge, which I missed exactly what it was.
Let's see, Brock's badge. Boulder badge was the Marsh badge.
Yep. Let's see if Snowbear does. Yep, so Snowbear shows us the most efficient way through Southern Route 2. Straight down past the bug catchers. Actually, I would say that Fine was pretty lucky that he found the Tauros instead of the Raikou, because he had already committed to teaching the Alakazam the Ice Punch TM, and would have been short that one for the Raikou. So getting the physical Tauros certainly was a maybe a blessing in disguise, perhaps.
Alright, and we have Fine through Lance. Which badge is he going to check for Storm?
Yeah. So Fine's still with 12 fights to go.
Oh yeah, Raikou with Surf is still really good.
Yeah, Raikou with Surf is still good.
Let me see what it would have had. Let's see. Outrage. It had Ice Punch.
It already...
It had Ice Punch.
It had Ice Punch. Okay, well...
Yep, wouldn't have mattered.
Not in the least.
Alright, I gotta refresh my Randomania stream. It went blurry on me.
Oh, that's way too funny.
Alright, and here we go! Rival 1!
Let's go. Now, if you activate the Rival 1, fight a tile above where Fine did, when he pushes you out of the way, Rival will walk through the old man. No regards to human life, just walks through the old man.
Alright, Snowbear getting his soul badge, and heading back to blue. Alright, fine. Left or right? Which way are you going?
Left or right?
Random encounter, apparently.
We gotta wait for another encounter.
He's going left. He's going to Chuck.
All right. All right. Who said Chuck? Who said Chuck in chat?
We've got 4 votes for Chuck on Storm Badge.
Come on, fine. Use your repels. That's what they're there for. And honestly, can you blame him? I mean, vanilla Storm Badge is a little too tempting to ignore, don't you think? Is it just me, or does Blue's gym look like it's made out of Legos?
I mean, it really does.
I mean, when I was playing as a kid, I'm like, hey, it's the Lego gym.
After Chuck is Claire, and that's it.
Oh. Yeah, Fine's got 11 fights to go. Snowbear has, if I am counting correctly, including this fight, 19. And there's the other Delibird.
Aww.
This one didn't fare any better.
Though that fortress went down a lot easier.
Yeah,
Guitar, what are you doing in the fighting gym? Oh god, it's erased. Iron Chef Paradox.
Yeah, what did you do to put a T-Tar in the fighting gym, buddy? It seems like this is your fault.
Probably. I mean, it's 100% my fault. I made this wrong.
This is absolutely true. Yeah, when did you become an Iron Chef?
Hey,
tell us your background, right?
I'm decent at cooking.
I like cooking.
I've only lit a few fires in the kitchen.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Just a few.
Omastar. Oh, Snowbear's stuck surfing this Lapras.
Oh, yeah, that's the Pokemon that Blue is full restoring as well. Big, bulky boy.
Fine, realizing he never taught strength.
Yeah, when you get it so late, it's like, eh. Yeah, teaching Flash just to save yourself some pain going through Mount Silver.
Bye, Arcanine.
Bye.
And there's Snowbear getting his Zephyr badge. Realizing Storm is stuck somewhere back in Johto.
Yeah. Yeah, and Snowbear is also heading towards the E4 at this point.
It's the faster thing to do.
Moment of truth.
Alright,
wait, we got one more
fine
fight.
on Chuck. Will Chuck give us the Storm badge?
Let's go, Vanilla. Did you know that a survey was done in America asking everybody their 3 favorite ice cream flavors? And it's vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry.
Huh, a Neapolitan.
Yeah.
Oh god, that Pichu's dead.
Jeez.
Alright, and here we go!
It is.
It's a Glacier badge.
Glacier badge!
Claire has Storm!
Well, Fly was one of our first items, and Storm badge is the last badge. Which, by the way, this is now Fine's 4th trip through routes 4140. having to go there to get the machine part at first, and then having to go there after receiving strength.
Draco Fly is HMO2. 3 is Surf.
3 is Surf. The last key item randomizer that I did, Surf was actually my last go mode item that I got, which was really awkward. It was like the latest possible Surf for me.
Oh, and Fine hitting the spinner.
Oh, so we are now tied on optionals 4-4.
Oh, Route 23, best route in the game.
Route 23. I mean,
It's the
Paradox,
best route in the game.
How many Pokemon have you caught on Route 23?
Everyone that exists on there.
Actually, same, buddy. It's incredible. How about you, chat? Tell us about all the Pokemon that you've caught on Route 23. They're all beautiful, aren't they?
I always make sure to read that sign when I go through there in a race.
My meme is I always talk to the Jigglypuff on my after saving them from the rockets in Radio Tower.
Yo, Gio, that's a great one.
I love 8 underscores. Shoutouts to our good friend Shenanigan underscore. Shenanigans underscore. Yeah, let's see how well the Poliwrath does through the Elite Four. He is at level 54, but it is just a Poliwrath.
I think that Snowbear is trying to commit to more special than physical. But even still.
Shoutouts to Route 44. Shoutouts to you, buddy Mizzle. Ice punching a Ledian and it living on half.
Ledian does have a lot of special defense.
Yeah.
And Poliwrath does not have the special attack to overcome that. But I will say, Poliwrath is a mistake that everyone tends to make at least once.
Yeah, same. I have also made that mistake. I too am not immune. Yeah, and the E4 is usually a situation where I do enjoy setting up an X attack or an X special on each fight. In this case, we're seeing Snowbear see the Slowbro and be like, yeah, I'm going to need a little extra power for this
Oh,
one.
it's got Spark and it paralyzed him, though.
Ooh.
Perish Song! Oh, no!
Ooh. Which is, I mean, you just got to take advantage of your X items until you have to switch out.
But being paralyzed, Yep, there it was a fully para.
Yeah, you'll want to switch out, full restore, and try again.
Also, there's still a decent enough level difference between the Poliwrath and the Tauros. Those 7 levels of difference.
Yeah, helps when you get that level 40 pretty early.
Listen, Gio, let's not talk about why what vanilla is where.
Now, will we see any of Red's normal Pokemon?
I haven't actually checked. Like, I looked at Red's lead just to see how wally it's gonna be, but none of the rest.
It'll be interesting. It'll be fun. By the way, just a reminder.
Interesting.
By the way, a reminder for everybody. Usually, when we play these offline or play these just kind of casually or just with friends, we use a setting that usually forces fully evolved Pokemon starting at level 50 and higher, which affects just a couple Pokemon in the game. It affects Blaine's ace, it affects Lance's ace, all of Blue and all of Red's Pokemon. But in the tournament, we do not have that setting checked. So both Blue and Red can have unevolved Pokemon on their team. Makes it just a little bit easier. It's just a slightly smaller chance for somebody to get walled on Red.
Why can I not find this Pokemon? Where is it? I want to know how much damage it's gonna do.
Phiyun forgot to push one of the boulders down one of the holes.
Oh. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad of a lead on Red.
No, I want to be surprised.
I mean, it has some potential to be really dumb.
Yeah, Phiyun's only got 3 fights left, by the way.
Yeah, this trainer, Claire,
very
in
much
Red.
closing in on victory. I mean, it's definitely easy to see without something being unreal wall. Like, it would take some kind of unreal wall to really push Phiyun back into Snowbear's grips. Because Snowbear still has to do the other 2 gyms with 10 fights.
There is a very specific Pokemon on Red that I'm going to look up the moveset to, because with a certain move, it can be an absolute nightmare.
For me, the worst was wow, nice magnitude 10 on a Muck. The one that I'll always remember is after having fully set up, I think Red's 4th Pokemon was an Ursaring, and it had E-Speed, and it crit me through X-Defense.
I was actually looking for E-Speed on this Pokemon, because...
Yeah, E-Speed is usually the one thing that'll get you a bit in trouble, because it just ignores how fast you are. And we have finally collected the infamous Storm Badge.
Here we are, 2.5 hours in, and Phiyun can now fly.
Fly. Wow. Yeah, at the beginning of this broadcast, we were mentioning that 2.5 hours is usually about the average. The average usually greatly depends on how early or late you get fly. So for us to be later than the 2.5 hour mark isn't unusual for not having the ability to use fly at all throughout the course of this run. So Phiyun has honestly played a very, very great game. A lot of his checks and his efficiency has really paid off. Looks like he's going to do one more X item shop before he hits Red. Probably just feeling confident that Yeah, I would honestly be very confident with this Tauros as well. Yeah, just checking his TMs to see if he has anything that might come in handy. So yeah, so for novice runners, and honestly this is a strategy I picked up from Shenanigans as well. Having a TM like Perish Song or Protect or Detect can be actually very useful.
You can use it to scout moves.
Yeah, you can use it to scout moves, or just get something that might wall you on.
Wait.
That might wall you on.
We got to see round 23 again on Phiyun's side.
I did this in my last race. If you go this way through Victory Road, you can pick up that TM, which he didn't. And it honestly is about the same amount of time as it is going from Viridian. It's slightly slower via the speedrunners that routed it out in Crystal. If you would have picked up the TM, I could have seen that being a bit more viable. But yeah, having something like Parasong or even like Disable, like if he say if Red's Pokemon has high jump kick and he doesn't want to get hit by that, he could just use Disable and that removes Red's best move on it. So you got to think a
Oh,
little
and
bit
Fine
outside
gets
the box
an
at
encounter.
some point.
It is a giraffe.
Let's go giraffe. Come on, Master Ball it. No. He does have the Master Ball, just in case. So see on Snowbear's screen how he activated the Rival 1 fight? Rival's just going to walk through the old man now. And it's going to be quite enraging. Yeah, having Spore is actually broken. A 100% chance to induce sleep might be an option that's getting banned in the near future.
All right, so here's Red's lead. An
It is
81
a
lantern.
All right, so a bit on the bulky side. So we'll see how he sets this up. He does have magnitude for it.
And there's poison powder. And E-speed.
And E-speed. So you have to be a little careful. You probably want to just revive, or you probably just want to heal out of crit range.
Fine, popping some X defense.
Which gives him a better chance to set up. But yeah, you have to be a little bit worried about crits.
He's in crit range right now, though.
Yeah.
Not of return, just of E-speed.
Yeah,
return is laughable.
Yeah, most of the AI trainers actually don't have any kind of like happiness value to them at all. So, but then again, it doesn't really matter in vanilla because you're never seeing frustration or return on any of the pokes.
There was a crit.
There was a crit. Thankfully, he healed before it happened.
Magnitude 7 Net Lantern is probably dead.
Oh, that should be more.
Oh, it's a crit. It's dead.
It's double dead. By the way, Snowbear also went to Signwood first to check for Storm Badge. All right, we got the Articuno. Gone.
All
right, yep. Looks like Return finally paying dividends in the very late game.
Golem.
I believe that should be a high jump kick, yes. Yeah, fine. Rolling now.
Omastar. And the last poke is the one I had to look at to see if it had E-speed. Because a level 77 Snorlax with stab E-speed is horrifying.
That would be terrifying. But he lands the high jump kick. And
with that, Fine is done at 237.17.
Yeah, congratulations to Fine here, our winner today. I will look up the official race time GG. It was a 2:37.08 officially.
2:37.08. I shall update that.
Yeah, congratulations to Fine, our winner today in our round 3 matchup. You'll be facing Athena in round 4, which is starting to get down to it.
All right, I'm gonna pull Fine in. Hello there, Fine.
Yeah, good job, man.
Congrats.
Welcome. Thanks.
Oh my god.
So, that Tauros.
Yeah. So
yeah,
you Tauros?
So I went to the Romas. I heard Raikou and Tauros. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it one try.
Wow.
So,
and
there we
I got
go.
The Tauros.
I got the mute.
Yeah.
I forgot it again.
Oh,
all good.
Wow.
Yeah, very lucky. Actually, it's really funny, Fine, because after the Poliwrath and after you got the Good Rod, you were almost swimming in mains because you found the legendary special 2 spoons as well.
Oh yeah. So I was like, yeah. So I went for the quick fish in front of Goldenrod and was like, okay, this is an Alakazam. Let's try to weaken it, and then it showed me Psybeam. Was like, that's
wow.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I just forced Poliwrath, but oh my god. Okay, which one was the Storm Badge? Was it Chuck or was it?
It was Claire.
It was Claire.
I had a feeling. Oh.
It was the very last one. Yeah. But honestly, Fine. So mains aside, I thought your routing was quite efficient. Honestly, after you took care of Sabrina early, and I think you even took care of Lieutenant Surge as well, and then you got your 7 badges to start the radio tower sequence. That was kind of the moment where I was just like, yeah, Phiyun's got this routed out really well. So do you think that you've played very well in terms of your efficiency?
For the most part, I want to say yes, except for that I hit way too many optionals.
Funny you mentioned that. Both of you had 4 optionals in this run, so you're both tied in optionals.
Ugh, man.
Yeah,
I just feel awful about my routing. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So on that aspect, Snowbear, you did take the Sudowoodo Polyrath and ran with it. What was your thought process into committing that early to the Polyrath?
I had no faith in anything else. I regretted immediately when I saw the bear got jump kick at level 8.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah, the Ursaring also had a jump kick or high jump kick, one of those two.
It learned jump kick at level 8, and it had stomp to begin with. So I was just like, you know what? I figured the thing would be the levels, and I knew Polyrath was decent enough, but oh my god, that was...
So
that was a struggle.
Part of the problem is you chose female Polyrath, and Polyrath is
I was not resetting for the Sudowoodo.
That's a good point.
It doesn't matter. The fact is, I was doing more damage with Surf than I was doing with Headbutt, and even though I had more than 10 stats more on my attack. That shows you how bad that went.
Meanwhile, we have Phiyun looking for Rando.
That's a pretty good meme, buddy.
It is.
Yeah. I told you I would get destroyed. He's like, no. I'm like, no, I've been playing terrible. The one thing is I knew Route 32 had the bike, because every single time I get early squirt bottle, I have been punished every single time for trying to go goldenrod, playing the odds.
I actually went
to
goldenrod early.
Yeah, I figured I figured bike would be there. I was just like, you know what, I'm not playing. I don't trust the 20. I don't trust the Kenya. I just played earlier today a disobedient Dodrio Kenya, and I didn't get any obedience badges until Morty, and Morty gave me the Hive badge, at which point I was 29, finished the Komodos, I was no longer obedient.
So main choice wise, if you weren't lucky in finding either the Alakazam or one of the Romas, I think it might have been bad.
No, my routing was terrible. I realized once I got Flash, I was like, oh shit, I can do Dark Cave. And then I was like, wait a second, I don't have the Zephyr badge. And then I doubled down on that. I committed. I was like, you know what, I gotta do what I gotta do. And then it ended up being punished with the machine part all the way at Secret Potion.
Yeah, and throughout the course of this run, seeing both of you side by side, it was just Phiyun's routing and Phiyun's plays ended up paying off a lot more than how you had it routed, Snowbear. So that coupled with the differences in mains in terms of their overall power and the strength, Phiyun really just started to run away with it in the late game, the mid and late game. Even though you did have a slightly early lead, you were as many as 4 fights ahead, even heading into Ekritique. But once the Tauros was in hand, it was just... Yeah, it was.
So it was the Romer Tauros? Gosh.
Yes. The Tauros was the Entei, and the Raikou was a Raikou.
Okay,
I didn't recognize the prize. I didn't really care. But congrats on the win. I know you didn't practice. Let's see how far that goes.
So both of us were saying that the other one is gonna win. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I kicked myself though. Like I knew I was committing to this Polyrath. I was like, I thought about not teaching the Ice Punch, and I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I just gotta go with it. What I gotta go. I figured maybe I could find a Super Rod or something early. Nope. Did you even do the basement, Phiyun?
No. I did basement. Basically, basement was an option, but I also had the machine part at that point, so I went there and did that sequence.
Oh.
Which also ended up to be one of those plays because strength was machine part locked.
Well, right, I got that part. Yeah, that was just the killer. And then I realized I went to go to the Snorlax and I was like, wait a second, I don't have the expansion pass. Ugh.
Yeah,
I just feel like my overall play was just horrible. Like I made do with what I could, but just the gambles I did just did not pay off.
Yeah, that ends up being a very common occurrence. By the way, congratulations, Fine, on finding the roaming Raikou successfully, and I know you have a Master Ball for it.
I mean, it could have been runnable.
I caught that Magby, and at that point, I'll be honest, when I caught the Magby, I was like, I could just switch to that. Surf, Strength, Thunder, done.
So I know what the Raikou has because we looked at the spoiler log, and I want your reaction.
It's okay.
Yeah, it has Ice Punch.
It has Ice Punch. I
think it had something good earlier on.
Outrage.
Also, I'm so tired of the rival having Zapdos every single time. Zapdos, Slowbro, Zapdos, Slowbro.
Oh, which starter did you take?
You both took the Nidoking.
Okay, we both.
That was like the only one to choose.
Yeah.
I was tempted to choose the last one though. I was like, no. I needed an actual potential main, and that Nidoking would have been running. Although I was so mad that Rapidash, it had Swords Dance. It showed me Swords Dance. I was like, yes, that's my main.
I found the Nidoking. I took the Nidoking, and literally the first wild encounter I found was another Nidoking.
Yup.
It was hilarious.
I got no encounters on 29, and I had to get a whole bunch of extra steps on 30 just to get an encounter.
I think I got like 37 encounters on 29.
Oh yeah, Fine was bodied by encounters early. All right, well, looking at the bracket, which I don't know if we're going to bring up on stream, but I'll at least verbalize it here. Fine, you are moving on to round 4, which is against Athena. On the other side of the round 4 bracket, Snorms awaits the winner between Horse and Septros. So getting down to it in terms of the winner's side of the bracket. And Snowbear, you drop down to the elimination side.
I face Paradox, so that'll be quite a match. I'll be finally done with this. He can finally take Mercy. To be honest, I thought I would win against Fine, but then I dropped down against Athena. But I feel like I got some of this, maybe.
Yeah, Snowbear and Paradox in the elimination round 3. And the other players that are still remaining in the tournament in the elimination side of the bracket, we've got Tomcat Tomato against Geospone. I believe that match will be on Monday. We also have Lord Bakura and Kavin awaiting winners of...
Kavin is not actually waiting. Kavin has...
No, Kavin dropped out. So he's not... So no. So whoever wins... in the match that's going to play actually now, if it's not playing already, is Vice versus Wingage.
Whoever
so this
wins
was kind
that
of a somewhat
moves forward
scheduled one, and that'll be on Randomania 3.
Yeah, the ROM I mentioned earlier, the super free one, it was meant for Kavin and Athena.
Yeah. I would have loved to have that ROM today.
Anybody would have loved to have that ROM. It was so dumb.
Ugh, man. What else would the player have learned besides jump kick? Because that was enough for me to realize I made a horrible mistake of a main.
Oh, that's wrong. I can check for you quick before we
my gosh.
head out.
Yeah, and then the other matches that we have scheduled later on, we're not sure which channel they'll be on yet, but we have Septros and Horse. That'll be at 4 p.m. tomorrow, all times Eastern. So 4 p.m. tomorrow will be Horse and Septros. And then on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern, we've got Tomcat Tomato and Geospone. Those are the scheduled matches as of right now. So
you weren't going to look at anything besides Jump Kick and Horn Attack.
That's fine enough.
And Spark at 49.
That was fine enough.
Was there any good TM I was missing?
There was... there was a couple. There was Tri-Attack, because I taught over Vice Grip with Tri-Attack, and then I taught over that with Headbutt, because I was like, I need the PP
you found
more
Wait, when was Tri-Attack?
Tri-Attack was...
Union?
Union, yeah.
Yeah, I skipped that, because I was like,
I was looking for something, because I was like, Tri-Attack has no PP. Or no,
Club.
Vice Grip was not good enough.
That's really it.
I had Magnitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Magnitude was from Mr. Psychic, which I considered doing, and then Bone Club was in the Mart, and if that would have been Rock Slide, I would have taught it.
Steel Wing? There was nothing that was going to help that Tauros, let's just put it that way.
Yeah. I also taught
There's nothing that was going to help that poor Polyrath, and that's why you don't run that.
I taught
There's
Return,
a Psychic TM somewhere.
No, that Polyrath was... No.
And a Sacred Fire TM.
Oh. Yeah, that doesn't help me.
Although, I don't know if you guys realize, I failed the quiz. I accidentally pushed A at the very end, trying to just match through
Yeah.
the text, and I failed the radio quiz once. Oof.
Yeah, this was a mess.
All right. Well, with that, I think we'll wrap things up. Thanks again. Congratulations to phiyun. Thanks again to snowbear, also for the race today.
Thanks
And,
for having us.
Yeah, thanks to everybody behind the scenes in terms of the this tournament as well. Of course, snowbear and Athena doing a lot of work putting this together. Of course, Paradox with helping me on the tracker today because, of course, I'm so forgetful with everything. So thanks again for being along my side. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks to Twitch chat for joining us here today. This wouldn't be fun without you guys. So thanks again for tuning in. And we'll see you later for the next key item randomizer races. We got one tomorrow and then another one on Monday.
There'll be one right now if we can get.
Wingage is saying in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Wingage in about 2 hours. Okay, so we're gonna have another matchup, and you said that one's gonna be on Randomania
3.
All right,
so a little bit unscheduled, but it was in the works for a while. So
yeah. All right. Well, Wingage doing the doubleheader today. By the way, baseball's back, and I'm excited, so we can use terms like doubleheader. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully, you guys will be well, and we'll see you all next time.